815-263-WMMR. We will go to Nancy and see if she knows the answer. Hi, Nancy. You're on the air.
Good morning, it.
Good morning to see you, Nancy. All right. What book in the Bible did the birds get the song Turn, Turn, Turn from?
Ecclesiastes.
That is correct. Hang on a second, Nancy.
One of my favorite songs.
We're going to give you a pair of tickets for an advanced screening of Beetlejuice, Tuesday, September 3rd, 7 p.m. at PFS East Theater. We'll start with Ben Affleck. His mood swings supposedly
I'd like to apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck.
His mood swings played a significant role in his divorce from Jennifer Lopez. Even though there was a lot of love, Affleck's unpredictable behavior caused a divide. A source described,
I don't want to go out to dinner. I want to sit here and play video games.
How Ben would quickly shift from joyful to very dark moods, which the press often noticed despite his efforts.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
He seems to be, he's a guy who seems pretty intense. Matt Damon seems to be the much more congenial, go with the flow kind of guy.
I kind of pick up on that,
Yeah.
too. The couple who married in Vegas in July 2022 celebrated with a larger wedding in Georgia soon after. Tried to salvage their relationship. However, the source mentioned that Affleck's unpredictable emotions added a level of toxicity that was hard to manage.
You know, I think I've distilled it down to why it didn't work at its core. So he's this way, and she's really savors having the paparazzi around them all the time and puts on her thing, right? Kathy, you see her out and about. She always looks like a man buck.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
He doesn't want to.
He had a level of celebrity scrutiny he was comfortable with that carried it to a new level. But the thing is, he kind of knew that going in, right? Why would you follow through with that?
Yeah, seriously.
Meanwhile, a source says that Ben has been spending time with Kik Kennedy, the 36-year-old daughter of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Rumor is they've been spotted at the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel and other popular places.
I thought he'd go for her sister, Squat Thrust Kennedy.
So according, a good amount of people are saying it's not true, though, so there's conflicting reports. Somebody had said Kik and Ben have been spending time together, but I'm not sure what's happening. Meanwhile, sources for TMZ are saying that the two are definitely not a couple.
Okay.
They also went on to say that the two are just buddies, and there's nothing romantic happening between the two.
Do we know the derivation of kick? Is it kickins or is it?
I think it's just Kik.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. That's all that I've seen.
It's the first time I've ever heard the name Kick.
Yeah.
Might be Kiki, like Mickey.
Kiki?
Yeah, Kiki.
Kiki?
Yeah.
Kathleen is her real name.
All right.
And
All
her nickname is Kick for some reason.
There you go. All right. Why does it show a much older photo of someone?
Those are her parents.
Oh, I got you.
You look horrible.
So Kathleen goes by Kik. All right. This was messed up to hear. Mariah Carey's mom, Patricia Carey, who's 87, and her older sister, Allison Carey, who's 62, tragically passed away on the same day over the weekend.
Oh, man.
That's horrible.
Mariah said in a statement, I feel blessed that I was able to spend the last week with my mom before she passed. I appreciate everyone's love and support and respect for my privacy during this impossible time. Patricia, a Juilliard-trained opera singer, had a complex relationship with Mariah, as detailed in the singer's 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey. Mariah wrote at the time, our relationship is a prickly rope of pride, pain, shame, gratitude, jealousy, admiration, and disappointment.
That's the relationship you have with Kathy.
It's a lot like that. Pat had divorced Mariah's dad when she was 3. Similarly, Mariah's relationship with Allison was also complicated. Allison had a tough life. She became pregnant at 15, doing drugs and turning to prostitution to make money. Mariah did support her for many years and even paid for her to go to rehab. However, she sued Mariah 3 years ago for the things written in the memoir. The suit still had not been settled. No specifics on their deaths are currently available. Mariah was not in contact with Allison and had an on and off relationship with her mom over the years. She has an estranged brother as well.
I wonder with the sister, because they both were singers, and you have one who achieves mega stardom. as a
Wait, you mean the
singer.
mom?
The sister.
Sister.
She was a singer too?
You said opera singer, right?
No, her mother.
Or her mother.
Yeah, her mother was a Juilliard-trained opera singer. The sister had a rough life. She was pregnant at 15, drugs, prostitution.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know where all the angst came from, if it was on Mariah's side, if she just got famous and kind of shunned them or whatever it was. But it was a complex relationship.
Said it all started with a pickleball fight.
Oh,
yeah.
man. As
Such a
we've heard
divisive game.
so many times. Joey Lawrence's estranged wife, Samantha Cope, has opened up following her divorce filing, sharing a video on Instagram on Saturday. The montage features Cope crying, but also includes joyful moments like dancing with her daughter, Dylan, kissing a horse on the nose, and clips showing the emotional ups and downs that she's going through right now.
I want to kiss you.
She's got a horse snot in her mouth now.
In the caption of her video, Cope reflects on advice from a friend about embracing her tears as a way to release pain and make room for new positive emotions.
How do you go on after you lose a Joey Lawrence?
She humorously notes that crying more might mean fewer trips to the bathroom as her divorce battle continues. We had told you how Cope, who is divorcing Lawrence, is seeking full physical custody of their daughter with limited visitation for Joey, adding to the drama. There's an allegation from screenwriter Edwin Ryder that his wife had an affair with Lawrence while filming a movie. Despite the challenges, Cope remains unashamed of her visible emotions during this difficult time.
She's not ashamed.
No.
Have you ever thought,
sharing?
Preston, if you've been very emotional or just come off some sort of internal family conflict, that would be the time to pick up the phone and start streaming?
Start filming yourself.
Does that ever occur to you?
No.
In moments of stress or great
Not
sadness?
lately. I generally like to keep that stuff to myself.
I'm made of different stuff.
Call me crazy.
Yeah.
Don't really know.
All right, guys. Next time you're going to have a big cry.
Yeah. I will
take
hop
your
on the
phone
phone.
out.
Yeah.
Whip out the phone.
Yeah, whip out the phone.
I will slam my junk in a car door and then I will whip out the phone. That hurt! Why did I do that?
I would stop crying the moment I tried to fumble for the phone and get it all set up and ready.
Goddamn thing.
God damn, now I got to
Is it
cry again.
recording or not?
This is a different kind of cry now.
Oh, no.
Man.
I'm on Quicken.
Liberace's former lover, Scott Thorson, has passed away. He was 65 years old, died in Los Angeles on August 16th. His cause of death is not known, though he reportedly was a patient at an L.A. healthcare facility and suffered from cancer as well as a heart condition.
Now, as fans of Behind the Candelabra.
Well, he wrote that.
Yeah.
Yes, so he wrote that book. It was his memoir called Behind the Candelabra, My Life with Liberace. Came out in 1988, and he revealed the intimate details of his 6-year romance with the late matinee idol. He had died, Liberace had died in 1987 of ailments related to HIV/AIDS. And then Steve is referencing the show, the movie, which was phenomenal. It was directed by Steven Soderbergh and starred Michael Douglas as Liberace and Matt Damon as Thorson. Was awesome.
Yeah, it was terrific.
Michael Douglas was incredible in it.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Tom Papa was in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Among the many scandalous claims in Behind the Candelabra, Thorson alleged that Liberace paid for him to get plastic surgery to make him resemble a younger version of the singer, of himself, of Liberace, including a nose job and a chin implant. Thorson had previously divulged details about his and Liberace's romance back in 1982 when he filed a $113. I'm thinking that's million. $113
I want $113
million alimony lawsuit against the Vegas legend. In depositions resulting from the suit, Liberace denied that he was gay and insisted that Thorson was never his lover.
That's why we are bringing a suit against Boeing for $97.27.
Wait, hold on. Did you say how old he was?
65.
Yeah, Scott Thorson was 65.
So
He was super young.
Yeah,
yes,
geez. He was.
super young when
Yeah.
that was Liberace's MO.
Yep.
If you watch the movie, it's brilliantly done, and it's fairly accurate apparently to what was going on. But, that was at the point. Liberace, actually, when he first came on the scene years ago in movies, he was, as Preston said, he was considered a matinee idol. He was a heartthrob for women.
Yep.
With the worst gaydar on earth.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah.
So Thorson and Liberace settled in 1986 with the entertainer's former lover receiving $75,000 in cash, 3 cars, and 3 pet dogs, which were valued at $20,000.
So if you've ever seen footage of Liberace coming out on stage, he would have this chauffeur who would get out of the vehicle, and he was always like in white or something, very dazzled. And that was him. That was Scott.
Yeah, Scott did that for 6 years of their relationship. He was the chauffeur for all 6 years. They parted ways once Thorson began using drugs more heavily. He accused Liberace of being in part responsible for his addiction, saying that he started to abuse substances only after being prescribed Quaaludes, amphetamine, cocaine, and Demerol as he recovered from the plastic surgery operations that Liberace had asked him to undergo. Thorson went on to have an equally salacious second act in life. He became a key figure in the trial for the 1981 killings commonly known as the Wonderland Massacre.
Yeah.
Thorson testified against nightclub owner and drug dealer Eddie Nash following the murders of 4 people on Wonderland Avenue in Laurel Canyon. Nash reportedly believed the 4 people were responsible for robbing his home and shooting a bodyguard. Despite Thorson's testimony accusing Nash of orchestrating the murders, the latter went free, and the trial ended in a hung jury. Nash died in 2014. Thorson said that he went into federal witness protection after the trial and changed his name to Jess Marlowe. And then he struggled with addiction during the remainder of his life. In 2008, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison after he pled guilty to felony drug and burglary charges.
That must have been a tough run.
And then he was later sentenced to 8 to 20 years in prison for failing a court-ordered drug test while on probation for burglary and identity theft conviction. So the guy was...
tumultuous life. Do you know who's folded into those Wonderland murders? John Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's crazy.
Well, that's what...
Boogie Nights has
Boogie Nights has a portion of that whole thing, depicted. All right, this is weird. O.J. Simpson's life continues to be strange after his passing. Malcolm Laverne, O.J.'s lawyer and executor of his estate, told TMZ the Simpsons' remains have been transformed into cremation jewelry.
You can own a piece of Simpson?
No, you can't, but they were shared among his 4 adult children.
Huh.
Yeah, I've seen this.
OJ was cremated back in April, and TMZ reported that his kids signed off on having his father's ashes turned into jewelry.
I once had a necklace that was my full grandmother's skeleton.
And
it was too, I thought it was too audacious.
As executor, Malcolm had to provide written consent in the process.
You know what? There's also breast milk jewelry.
What?
Yeah.
I've not heard of that.
I know. Yeah, it's.
Well, then
Can
I'm
you
getting
find-
in on the piss market.
Can you find that in the Kathy Romano collection?
No, I unfortunately don't have breast milk jewelry,
Damn
but you can get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is.
I mean, I get the cremation thing.
Yeah,
you want to,
a little bit of the ashes.
hang on to someone for the rest of your life, but the breast milk, why? Okay.
Do you know what I would see possibly with the cremation too, Preston? Incorporating it into seasoning. We just got a whole bunch of seasoning.
Yeah.
You know, eat a little bit of grandma tonight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who's for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Grandma.
Yeah, we're looking at pictures of
Breast milk jewelry.
Breast milk jewelry.
Wow.
I mean, that's not the child. It's not a. You know what I mean? It's just it's the mom.
I guess it's like a time in.
I guess so.
Time locked in
Moment in time.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider accessories made out of fecal matter?
No, I would not. I absolutely would not.
Ooh, that poop.
That poop scarf is beautiful.
Gorgeous. Hang on, Marissa.
Preston, I was telling you about that Wolfie behind the music.
Yes,
During that, he
Wolfgang.
admitted that he has a little bit of his dad in his necklace.
Oh.
That he
Sure.
has some of his dad's ashes in like a pick form.
I know. In a pick form. I
Yeah.
know a couple of people who've had a small vial, and they'll keep a little bit and wear that around their
I'm
neck.
fine with that.
Yeah.
I think when you are actually lugging the full coffin around, that's not right.
Martin Short and Meryl Streep, despite both denying that they're in a special relationship together, they were seen holding hands at the Only Murders in the Building premiere.
Really?
And Short spoke glowingly of his ex-star, of his co-star and friend. In a recent interview with Extra, he said, "I think a friendship always grows if you work with someone and love that person." While all the clues are there, despite their denials, Martin backs the pair up. Steve Martin does, saying that Streep is friends with all of them. He said, I've worked with her, did a movie with her very fortunately, and if I don't see her for 2 years and get back together, you're already laughing and talking. It's friendly.
And she's married.
Over the last several months, rumors have persisted with Bill Maher fanning those flames in an interview with Short, and the two being spotted out on dinner dates. So, yeah.
The word is she might have sort of an open marriage with her husband.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, right now they're saying that they're just buddies.
Because she was with John Madden for a while.
No, she was not.
Channing Tatum apparently was so against doing the laundry for a while that he bought new T-shirts instead of doing them. But he bought new T-shirts for a whole year.
Okay, I've never
did the
done
laundry.
that, but I have used the just buy new clothing instead of laundry method a few times in my life.
He said, I hate doing laundry. Like, I hate it more than I can possibly say. And I had 1 year that I called the year of that fresh white tee. And I don't think I did laundry all that year. I just wore white T-shirts that I just bought.
So the concept of the classic white tee I love. However, I never get them because within minutes there's a stain somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. He apparently did the math and felt like not doing laundry was the right move at the time. He said, I'd look at a shirt and I'd be like, I can get, like 2 wears out of this week. It's going to be good. The year of the fresh white tee, 99 or 2000, he said, it's a beautiful year. So he hates doing it that much.
My wife and a few of her girlfriends went to see the Blink Twice.
Blink Twice, yeah.
Yeah, movie over the weekend. Said it was pretty good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So this happened over the weekend, which was wonderful to see. Ted Lasso is heading towards a season 4 green light. Warner Brothers Television has picked up the options on original cast members Hannah Waddingham, Brett Goldstein, and Jeremy Swift. It's believed that Jason Sudeikis is involved in the revival in some capacity as an executive producer. Waddingham, Goldstein, and Swift are known at this time because they are UK equity members and have different deals than the U.S. SAG-AFTRA cast. Those negotiations will happen next.
So with the way the series ended, I thought it was ended well, but that was one where you felt you're like a little bit more, a little bit more.
I think it's because we all have all fallen in love with all the characters, and we know that somewhere the story will continue on,
right? And you want to catch up with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they put a little bit of a bow on it, but that bow can be unwrapped,
unbowed.
If Sudeikis comes back, is it still called Ted Lasso?
Yeah, it's a good question because they leave the door open for a different direction that would probably not involve Ted Lasso, the character. And I could see them going for another season maybe without him and taking a completely different direction and not beating a dead horse too much. You know what I mean?
He was quintessential to what made the show great. The show could exist without him.
Yeah.
I saw Bill Lawrence talking about it, and he's saying that, Jason Sudeikis lives in the States, and he's got 2 young kids, and it's kind of like the character Ted Lasso. Like, he would have to pick up his life and move back to England, which he's not sure he wants to do or not.
Right. So talk of Ted Lasso revival has been in the air since the show ended its run back in January, but back in January, Warner Brothers TV CEO Channing Dungey teased to Variety the possibility of a series continuing after the season 3 finale. He had said, you watch the finale, there's a little bit of a door that could be kicked back open if needed.
I have a fix for this. You could have Ted Lasso Takes Manhattan.
He said, I wouldn't put the period on the end of that sentence just yet. There's still a lot of love for Ted, and I think that there is still a lot of enthusiasm on the part of Apple for Ted Lasso. Should the opportunity arise, we'd be excited to jump back in to making one more. There are always conversations that are ongoing, just nothing that's official.
That show, more than just about any other over the past couple of years, it was like, I need to watch an episode because you knew you would finish off feeling good.
Yes. Yeah. It was a nice little way to kind of touch yourself a little bit.
Right. And from someone who actively touches himself all the time, that was extra special.
On a parallel line with Apple TV, I was watching something over the weekend and Shrinking, the new season.
Oh,
the
it's coming out?
Kathy, October. I think it said October 15th.
You mean the month?
Yeah. The month after September and before November. It's coming back for season 2.
It's been so long.
It's been too
Right?
long. And this show kind of gives me the same vibes that Lasso does.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's Brett
absolutely.
Goldstein and Bill Lawrence are behind Shrinking as well.
Yeah.
I got to check it out. You guys have been raving about it. I
It's
caught
so good.
one episode.
It's great.
And I thought it was good. But
Harrison Ford is really good in
Is
it.
he?
Yeah, let him.
is he playing Red Hulk?
He's not playing Red. Well, not in this thing.
Okay.
Maybe in something else.
All right.
But
It gets better as the season
Yep.
goes on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I had same thing, Steve. I watched the first episode, liked it, didn't love it, but Ted Lasso was kind of that way.
Yeah.
It took me 3 episodes for me to go,
I'm on board.
I need more of this.
Yeah.
So I will have to give it another. And they're only 30-minute episodes, right?
Yeah.
I believe. So.
By the way, to that irregular pause, stop, start, sputtering sort of thing, how often when the season comes back, because of the nature of this, do you go back and watch the last 2 or 3 episodes just to remind yourself where you were?
yeah.
It's like
almost every time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in our household, we'll watch the entire prior season.
And again, parallel because it's Apple TV Plus, but Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn. The second episode comes on and they do a recap and it has a narrator and the narrator goes, "We're only 1 episode in. You really need a recap?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do."
That's good.
and great. And the third one, he goes, "These are going to get shorter as we go along."
Yeah.
I love it. We just finished the first episode last night. So
It's also a Bill Lawrence show.
It is?
Yeah, Bill Lawrence is the thread between
God,
Ted
I love that
Lasso
guy.
and Scrubs and Shrinking and Bad Monkey.
Excellent. All right, one last story, and then we'll move on to the clips. Casey, this is for you. The 1987 biopic La Bamba about legendary rocker Richie Valens may get an updated take on it. A remake of the hit movie, which originally starred Lou Diamond Phillips as the doomed Mexican-American teen, is currently in development with the original film's writer and director, Luis Valdez, on board as an executive producer.
They doing part 2?
No, I don't think so. In 2017, the original film was added to the National Film Registry of the U.S. Library of Congress, which recognizes films for their cultural, historic, and or aesthetic importance. So why a remake? Valdez says, as new biographical details have come to light, a new cinematic look at his eternally young 17 years on Earth can only add to his undying legend.
They just found out he was like 90% Dutch.
No, shut up.
Yeah. It's
Wait, that's
weird.
not true, is it?
No.
Who was the girl who played Isai Morales' girlfriend or wife?
That was Pena. She passed away a few years ago.
Elizabeth Pena?
Yes. I think that's her first name.
Okay.
She was in Tortilla Soup. She was-
Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder, a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I liked her a lot. She
Great.
had a really, unfortunately, a really bad alcohol problem.
Is that right?
And I believe her liver gave out on her. But yeah, she was in Down and Out in Beverly Hills and a lot of really good movies. I thought she was a great actress. But yeah, alcoholism got the best of her.
That's sad.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to bring you guys down.
Yeah, he really
Bummer, man. But
bringing
now
me
that we know
over.
there's a sequel to La Bamba.
But you know what, man?
2 Bamba.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I mentioned the clips, didn't I?
Maybe. I got clips.
Oh, you do? Okay, there they
Okay,
are.
all
Thank you. I was like, I don't have my info. But I do, and I'm here to share it with you. So this first clip, season 21 of The Bachelorette.
Oh, my God.
I actually watched
Last night,
about 2 minutes of this
I don't even
because
know who you
Rochelle
are.
was watching.
I
it.
watched about a half hour.
Oh, you did? I can't take it that much.
And then I went into the garage and put the chainsaw in my mouth.
I mean, the girl is stunning, and they were in Hawaii, and that's why I watched a little bit of what I watched. But so it's down to 3 participants trying to win over Jen's heart. Before the finale, the guys get a chance to tell all. And in this clip, Dylan Bucker, a contestant who was eliminated earlier in the series, talks about the Men Tell All special.
You know, I try to keep it cordial in the house. You know, a lot of the drama that was in the house, I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to be part of this drama. I'm going to, you know, let them handle them. I'm not going to try and input my 2 cents into the opinion because it's just not, you know, why would I want to be involved in the drama, right?
So let me ask you, you were watching it last night.
Yeah.
One of those guys I just think is a goober that has no...
Well, that was probably the guy I was watching because I'm so out of touch with this stuff.
Yeah.
Rochelle's watching. I'm like, I go, this is The Bachelorette, right? And she
Yeah.
goes, yeah. I go, it's definitely not The Bachelor because that guy ain't good looking enough.
It's not good looking enough.
to be The Bachelor.
And the other two guys are in the ballpark. She's stunning. And it's like...
Yeah.
She does have an annoying voice, though. But otherwise...
I didn't
yeah.
watch it long enough to find that out. But Yeah, and it was all she's not into this guy.
No,
she's so not into it, but she's playing the little game. They're making
Preston,
out and stuff like that.
They don't know how the mechanism of love works. They don't understand. So I'm working on falling in love with this guy, and I'm working on, it's like, no.
You either love someone.
Yeah, you have 3 or 4 potential people you're falling in love with at the same time?
Yeah.
No!
I mean, that is just not. I mean, listen,
it doesn't happen.
It's not real life.
That would be a waste of time.
Exactly.
When would you ever? And the reason we're sitting here and going, "Oh, it doesn't work that way," is because it never happens that way in real life. Maybe it would. If someone were to give me a buffet platter of women in front of me, I might fall in love with 2 or 3 of them at the same time. You never know. But it's just not real.
No,
you know
it's
what I mean?
not real.
The next bachelor, and this just in from Marissa Magnata, a handwritten note. The next bachelor picked for this season is from Newark, New Jersey.
Breaking news.
And his name is Grant Ellis.
Yeah, he's getting some chicks and stuff.
So, anyway. All right. The Bachelorette, The Men Tell All, airs tonight, 8 o'clock. That's on ABC.
They never tell all.
All right, here's the next clip. By the way, I love the word goober.
It's great.
I love it. The guy
is a goober.
Is a goober.
Yes.
Goober, and another favorite word is bimbo, but that applies to a completely different type of person.
Bimbo, and pud.
Pud. All right, Only Murders in the Building is back. Here, Eugene Levy talks about joining the All-Star Comedy Ensemble for Season 4.
Marty and I go back forever, and Steve and I have done a lot of movies together, and it's amazing. It's an amazing show, and boy, the guest roster that they've pulled in on that thing, just being a part of that, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Only Murders in the Building, Season 4, premieres today on Hulu.
So they go, the podcast is popular, and there is a movie being made about the podcast. So they have their counterparts being played by other celebrities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Eugene Levy is playing Steve Martin's character.
Oh.
And Zach Galifianakis is playing Martin Short.
I was looking at the photo here, and I couldn't figure out exactly, because they're all dressed exactly the same.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, that is the entertainment report for this morning. Thank you very much. Please have a seat. Have a seat, everyone. Let's take a break. I want to remind you today is Tattoo Tuesday, so if you are interested in joining the ranks of people who have a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo, text word tattoo to 39333.
Just had somebody come up to me over the weekend and a tattoo on their leg. Looked really nice. I'm like, I totally forgot. How many people walking around with Preston and Steve tattoos right now?
I saw a couple of them at the Who's Lou party.
Who's Lou party, yeah, yeah.
In fact, Mr. Geo Parody.
Oh, he was there?
He was there.
Aw.
Paintball Geo Parody. So anyway, this is courtesy of Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street. You can check out their artwork at Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. .com, Floating World Tattoo, Piercing.com. All right, we're going to take a break. Coming back in just a moment on this Tuesday morning to spend some time with you. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Because it was a brand new yogurt that I have not eaten yet,
Yogurt.
with a spoon that I have not used yet. So the question really was,
It's now or never.
I was going to offer him some.
He wants you to try this yogurt so bad.
I asked him. I said, "Oh, have you ever had the chance to try that yogurt yet?" And then he responds. He's like, "No, you asked me that like a year ago." And
No, he said you've been asking me for a year.
That's what he said.
So,
Because it's been a number of times, and so finally,
I sensed some irritation on your part.
total irritation.
So then the irritation comes to me because I literally, including today, have asked him twice. So he's like, "You've been asking me for a year."
No.
I literally have asked him two times.
You have, Casey. It's been. This was not the second time. It's been many times that you've at least. No, you haven't asked me to try it, but you've certainly said, "Man, I like this stuff. This is really. I used to have Chobani, but this is what I eat, and I like it better."
All right, Preston.
I'm like, okay, that's cool, good.
Agree to disagree.
Whatever. And then finally, I go, look. It's at Wawa. Chobani is at the Wawa I go to. That's why I get it. And I just explain it. I just let it all spill out like that. I'm like, this is why I get it. I have my one stop in the morning. This is why I pick up. It's my ritual. It's what I have.
The nerve had been laid bare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
With a little more attitude.
and this is right
lot more
before
attitude.
we're going to.
He was super douchey about it, right? Right, for a simple question. I was just asking about yogurt, and he was a total a-hole about
See,
it.
this is
I'm
the
tired of it.
This
Right.
is the husband and wife dynamic. And then Casey had to do a live spot, and Preston put his headphones on. And after you put your headphones on, Casey goes, "I can't say anything."
I can't ask many questions, and that's how I feel sometimes.
But at this point, you'd think that you would catch on. He doesn't take well to these things after 4 times of asking.
But do you feel he was sending you a sort of trying to suggest that you were not doing something that you were
Maybe
Yes.
subliminally,
you felt that
I get that.
He
I
suggested
don't.
you were doing something wrong by not trying the yogurt.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I
He wants you
can't
to
say
like-
I can't say definitively
Do you
that I feel that
understand
way,
that,
but
Casey?
maybe on a core sense, maybe that's it. And you've tried to get me to do something several times, and I haven't done it, and it's time for you to go. Okay, well,
Now,
I don't
can
need
you
to do
s-
that anymore.
Can you see?
Why is yogurt so goddamn important to you?
Can you see that Casey is one who loves to share the joys that he experiences with everyone, and that for him it's important that he give you this gift of an extra creamy yogurt?
He eats yogurt every day.
Okay.
He's almost every day.
Casey, how does it make you feel that Preston was seemingly rebuffing your suggestion that he try the creamier yogurt?
So for me, Steve,
Yeah.
it goes beyond the yogurt. All right.
It's indicative of a usual.
It could have been anything.
Okay.
It could have been a piece of music. It could have been yogurt. It could have been
Music about yogurt.
Music's another thing.
A restaurant. It could have been anything. So he takes this tone with me a lot of times, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
Listen, I've actually heard through the grapevine there's some issues going on here.
That there's some issues going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Between you two. Oh, yeah. It's
Are you kidding
countrywide.
me?
you
Between
guys.
me and Casey.
Crazy.
The yogurt?
The yogurt. Well, yeah, because I received your letter, Casey.
He got a letter.
So, yeah, Casey actually sent me a letter. It's actually a fake letter from Casey, but it
And he
sounds
writes,
like
"Dear Casey."
Yes.
It said, Robert, please allow me to... Dear Robert, if Greeks invented yogurt, then they also invented a broken heart. Well, you see, I recently noticed that Preston has been eating Chobani yogurt every morning for breakfast. But because I care deeply for Preston, I tried to turn him onto a much creamier, much healthier, better tasting Oikos yogurt. Well, my best intentions have sent our relationship into a spiral. And yes, we operate a mixing board together. But we're just going through the motions. Help us put our passion back in our relationship and into our mixing board.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, that came from Steve. Thank you very much. But it sounded good. It sounded good.
I was aware of everything that's going on here. So
yes. So what's going on, guys? I mean,
well, do you want to show you retired to the set? There is
Yes,
a
let's
Robert
go- yes,
Irvine
let's go
show
there. Yes, I
set
like
right in
this.
place
The set's
here.
much
Oh, you
better.
got to be kidding.
No. All right. So Robert, you actually picked up on it. You know what the story is. There has been this tension because these guys are actually the best of friends. However, there are certain issues that were spelled out to you, and you do what you do best. And I've seen some of the clips of.
So let's talk about
what
this.
you do.
Let's talk about this, Casey. You're a little in your face with this yogurt. Can we have that yogurt, by the way? Can you bring that?
Yeah, bring out the yogurt if you can. Yeah.
I want to try this yogurt. So you've been
yogurts on a tray.
Yes.
I hope they're all the same flavor.
So look.
They are. They're all
You're
strawberry.
really upset. Look at me when I talk to you. All right. You're really upset that he's using Chobani, right? And you like the other one. So you wanted him to try yours. So here's what I want you to do. Look at each other. And I want you to tell him that you like Chobani or you love Chobani yogurt more than you love him.
Wow. I can't do that.
Very good. Now I want you to look at him and say you love your yogurt more than you love him.
I can't do that either.
Wow.
I think we just had a breakthrough,
We
guys.
did. I think
Say
we
here.
did.
I want you to feed him your yogurt. It's all about breaking. We're breaking now.
Here comes the airplane.
Okay.
Now,
What do you taste there?
I taste love.
Great. Now you take your yogurt and do the same thing to Preston.
All right, here comes the train.
What do you taste?
It is a little creamier. I will give you that case.
Breakthrough number 2.
Because I don't have any bitterness involved anymore. Well,
but here's the
that's
thing.
clouding my taste buds.
See, okay, so the last time you were gonna not like it as much, regardless.
I kind of tore through that little container at 5 and 3.3 ounces.
Okay.
Very quickly, but now that I've tasted it, it's pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is called compromise. When in a relationship for 18, 20 years, whatever the number is, compromise. You have to listen to each other. But when people get on your nerves, like him,
yes.
When they get on your nerve, you have to have more patience. It's like being in marriage. Look at him. He's upset visibly now.
Compromise and patience.
Wow.
I don't think that I am saying, hey, you need to experience this. You really need to do this. You really and after a couple times I try it and I get a cue from him that he's not interested, then I will back off of that.
Right.
Casey keeps going and going and going, and it's just what you do. You know, I mean,
sure.
Well, you got to learn to let that go. If he doesn't go with yoga after
the yogurt
10
thing.
weeks,
See,
I mean, you got to give it up.
But the yogurt thing,
or whatever, it doesn't have to be yogurt.
So I thought he was over exaggerating.
You're like a little chihuahua.
How in his face I was about the yogurt.
Okay.
He said I've been asking him for like a year, and I felt like maybe I only asked him a couple of times. And I thought the most hurtful part was I had actually was going to let him try some of the yogurt because I knew, and it was just like The Departed. He didn't see it, so I brought it in for him, and I gave him the DVD. So I thought, hey, this brought me joy.
That's like you saying to him, hey, you didn't listen to me. Here, watch it now.
Right.
So now you're telling him what to do.
Right.
And he feels confronted.
Now you've like.
All right, now
alienated.
I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing it from your perspective.
May I jump in here, Robert?
Yeah,
because I think also in a case they both love each other and they have things that excite them and they want the other to experience that, but they can't communicate on how to get. They feel that they are less because the other hasn't embraced something that excites them.
So is
that correct?
All right, and here's the other part of it all. We have the peanut gallery. Okay, so Preston said what he said, and then my feelings got hurt, and maybe I said something so he couldn't hear because his headphones were on. But
what did he say?
I didn't hear. I can't say anything. Well, I can't say anything.
And then I made sure you knew that.
And then
yes, you did.
Yeah. So then,
right, legging on from Kathy over there. Yeah.
This thing that just would have went away, right? I would have had hurt feelings for about 30 seconds, and it would have went away, got brought up on the air, and became a bit without either of us really approving it or intending it or anything.
So you have to respect each other's piece. If you have something you want to say, and you're in a peanut gallery situation, then write it down.
So, and then there's another
write
part
it
of
down.
This.
That's a good way to do it.
There's another part of this that, so after the show was over, our relationship was a little fractured. It really was. There were some hurt feelings. I knew I hurt his feelings, and he knew he hurt mine. He apologized, and we were about to talk it out. And then Matt Rovine, with his giant bushy eyebrows, came in and ruined everything.
And then you never said anything
because
after that.
I didn't want to drum it back up.
I was kind of hurt by that.
I know. So
did Rovine say something about the yogurt?
No, he had a feral animal caught in one of his eyebrows, and he was looking for help.
So now that it has been brought back up again, because I didn't want to beat a dead horse, right?
Yep.
So now that it has been brought back up again, Preston.
What?
I called you a couple of names that day. I apologize. I said you were being a dick.
Uh-huh.
And I said you were being a douche. And I thought that was harsh. And those were my hurt feelings speaking.
Okay.
And that was not me. And I apologize.
That's pretty bold of him. That's pretty.
That's good.
Okay,
We're making breakthroughs. Right.
Yeah.
Stand up and give each other a hug.
All right. Let's feed each other some yogurt. Love you, man.
There you are. That was simple, right? Communication.
Yeah.
If you communicate well together, don't listen to the peanut gallery because they're always going to throw in.
Sometimes he is a dick.
Ouch. So I think Kathy's on the bench next.
Yes, yeah. Well, Robert,
we got to have a complete reach right here.
Robert it's a good thing, and because you're reticent to think of a friendship in terms of like the same dynamics that would be in a marriage, but
Yeah.
there's very similar things going on, correct?
Exactly the same, and it's the same when they have kids. These are the kids, right? In the room, because they'll throw things and they'll test the parents. So Kathy will go on your side and say, well, he's a douche or whatever, and they will just wind it up because A, they're fun. They've been in with you guys for a long time. Yeah. But friendship is about communication, just like marriage.
Yes.
About trust, communication, and if you have something to say, you should actually say it to each other, not in front of other people.
Right.
And don't say anything when you're angry. Write it down, put it under somewhere, go away, calm down, then pull it out. And if you still feel the same as what you wrote on that piece of paper, then confront it when you're calmer.
What makes you an expert? Your years as a chef?
Life.
Did you feel a certain weirdness, Preston, after that?
Well, yeah, I brought it on myself because I thought more about what he said, and then I started to I clammed up. I also have been kind of coming down on myself a little bit about being aware of how I interact with other people and the things that I say, and I want to be more cautious about it. I don't think I'm an outright jerk to people, but sometimes I'll say something and forget that it's just my opinion and that, it's not necessarily the right opinion.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of watch it, except for bitches like Kathy.
Oh, my God. I think I agree with you on that.
Everyone has an opinion, and don't change the way you are. That's what makes you you are.
I mean, if there's something that can bring us all together.
Yes.
Right. It's our hatred for Kathy.
Right.
I just can't believe this is happening, and this is like really, you guys are
See,
being
Kathy,
serious.
what you didn't realize, it's all about you, not these guys.
We've both tried Chobani. We've both tried the Oikos.
And I just brought another one. But actually, it didn't. Marissa did. I just bought one just for you to try.
Stonyfield.
Yeah, I just thought you can try something different.
Are you saying that this is perhaps a yogurt they can both love together?
Yes, and I want them to interlock arms when you do this. There you go.
Like this.
It's beautiful. And so the healing begins.
What do you think about that?
No. Yeah, look, we agree.
The enemy of my enemy.
I noticed a few things.
I
did.
Down a dark alley, across a field. Look over there. He does. He's Preston Elliott, the noticer. Noticing so you don't have to. And yes, this is probably a lot like the junk drawer.
Yep.
But just a different introduction.
Cuddling a kitten.
Cuddling a kitten?
Yes. Makes you feel better, but it could be dangerous to your health. Doctors from Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in the U.S. conducted a large-scale survey of the cat-borne bacterial disease cat scratch fever.
Oh. Yes.
Which is legit. The doctors have warned that hands should always be washed after touching cats and to avoid kissing felines where possible.
Sorry. Make out with them all the time. In fact, I brush my teeth with their tails.
The disease is spread when you are scratched by an infected cat, hence cat scratch fever, or when you don't wash your hands and touch your mouth after stroking an infected cat.
You have to be careful of anything like that, And
well, we're talking about people kissing their chickens.
Kissing your goddamn chicken.
And getting salmonella, it could
I'll kiss
happen.
a kitten before I kiss a chicken, and yes, that's on my bumper sticker. I kiss chickens and I vote. I will not be overlooked.
Need to have those made.
Cat owners should also be careful about their animals' interaction with stray cats where possible. However, the disease is relatively rare, where the survey finding that a couple things to bring you up to speed on, and we're going to do it via this.
Totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
Excuse me. That's okay.
Let's just do this again.
Totally Presbo. There you go.
All right. Over the weekend, the Philly Naked Bike Ride took place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't stand finding out about it after the fact because it's long been my dream to never participate.
No, I knew it was coming, and then I guess maybe I was like a Philly Inquirer, or maybe it was a Philly Mag.
Is that something you would ever participate?
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not proud of my naked body, so I wouldn't do that. But no, so they announced where it was going to start, and so I was tuned in a little bit. I got to tell you, I'm a little underwhelmed with the amount of nakedness is actually going. It's just people in their underpants riding bikes.
So is that the predominant amount? Mostly people in their underpants?
Seems like it.
You can choose your level of nakedity for the whole thing if you want to. So
can you be fully naked without a bike seat?
No, Steve, I will say though, I saw a video of a guy who was getting ready to go on the naked bike ride. He's naked, walking his bike It wasn't his bike. It was one of those Philly Indigo bikes.
Oh, no.
Dude, so here's a guy, and he was naked.
Yeah.
Here's a dude who's putting his naked butthole all over a public bike seat.
That is the worst promotion for the share ride.
Casey, I am a frequent rider of those Indigo bikes.
You got the guy's butthole on your back now.
After the bike ride, the naked bike ride, I usually wait. I wait for like a really good rain.
Okay.
But it makes sense because a lot of people go and celebrate afterwards. So it's nice to be able to dump your bike and just go from there.
Would you ever do it yourself?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, some people get painted and or wear their different levels. This year it had, a much deeper meaning because that accident that happened in Rittenhouse a few weeks ago of that rider who got killed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, because it's all about like protection. It's all about, these are our bodies, protect us.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure because you do like to, participate in city events.
Yeah, I think this one I'll be a voyeur instead of a participant.
She just missed Dinner on Blanc this summer.
She had an appearance. Yes.
Missed it.
You had an appearance and that kept you from Dinner on Blanc?
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of personal things that just kind of kept me from getting there this year.
Wow.
Man.
She didn't feel Blanc enough.
How many had you gone in a row to?
All of them.
All of them, and you
All of
missed
them.
this
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry
It
to
was
hear
a
that.
love park. Me too.
To be honest, I didn't see a lot of hoo-ha about this Dinner on Blanc, Marissa.
You know what, Steve? My friends and I, because at some last minute we were like, do we just go over and try to go? But it took us a while to even figure out where it was.
There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it looked wonderful. It was beautiful. They always do a good job. I'll be back next year.
By the way, the organizers of the Philly Naked Bike Ride said that the ride wasn't limited only to bicycles, but welcomed all forms of human-powered transportation, such as rollerblades, skates, skateboards, and scooters. They also point to a code of conduct that bars any kind of physical or sexual harassment. This year, riders assembled at Fairmount Park, and some were getting themselves adorned with body paint before starting the 12-mile route down the Benjamin Franklin Parkway past historic City Hall to Rittenhouse Square, and then in South Philadelphia before heading back north around the U.S. Mint and ended in a West Philly park near Drexel University. The ride used to be held in September, but it was often temperatures that were 70 degrees and below.
Yeah, shrinkage.
That's quite chilly when you're naked.
Yeah.
But enough of the riders mentioned it feeling chilly, and it was moved to August several years ago.
So you're going to do this thing. You're going to be all naked. You choose a standard bike or a recumbent bike?
I wouldn't do a recumbent bike. I'd do a standard bike, but I would do one with a nice wide saddle on it.
You got to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your nuts would be crushed.
Like a beach cruiser or something like that would be perfect for riding naked. I wouldn't mind trying this sometime. I think it'd be kind of fun. I haven't done a publicly naked thing in a long time. So that would be kind of nice.
I did ride my bike naked for you guys down Kelly Drive.
Yes, you did.
And then we did the Bambi hunt.
Yep. Which was naked people playing paintball, essentially.
That's pretty good.
And that was, and Casey, it only took you like 10 minutes or so of being naked before you just didn't care.
Yeah, I was definitely shy. And then, the more you hang out with naked people. And,
they're all naked around you, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't show up to one of our conferences naked.
No, do you remember Hot Mom Denise? She was there that day.
Oh, that's right.
Her.
Yeah.
She was all about 4'11".
So anyhow, if you went on the ride, it was the 15th annual, and I hope you had a good time. And apparently it was.
Hope you didn't get a filthy seat.
It was a wonderful event. So, all right, let's go to something else.
Totally Presbo.
So I found an article of that was 2,000 adults were surveyed, and they have come up with the most common things that couples fight about.
The most common things couples fight about.
Yeah, before I give you those things, there are a couple other little bit of tidbits that were found. The most common time for couples to argue is between 6 and 8 p.m. in the afternoon, the evening.
6 and 8 p.m.
Couples who live together fight frequently, with 41% admitting that they argue with their partner at least 5 times a week.
Wow, no. We're ahead of the curve on that.
Is that like fighting or bickering? Yeah, and
I think it might
fist fighting.
No, I think it might include bickering as well, Case, but maybe a notch up from a bicker.
What's your bicker parameters? a couple of, you should put the bag there. Is that a bicker? Or is that just a terse exchange?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there
Do
needs
you
to
have
be
to
a-
have your hands on her throat?
No. I think that there needs to be a little bit of a back and forth.
Yeah.
Not just like, I'm annoyed, don't put that there.
Right.
And then you don't put that there.
Right.
There's got to be a little bit of a
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth, and then
Otherwise, it's just someone being annoyed.
I will tell you this: we don't end up. Our fights are probably, or our exchanges that might be considered on the bicker scale, more in say like the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early afternoon, not in the evening.
Yeah, by the time we chill out, like we've had a wonderful dinner, and I've regaled her with my stories of the world of entertainment.
Right.
it's always bad when you're getting ready for bed, though, right, Press? And then they're like,
see, we avoid that.
I had to put the hammer down on that because Rochelle used to do it all the time. I'm walking up to go to bed. I go to bed much earlier than everyone in the house.
Yeah.
And I'd been getting the silent treatment all day, and then I would get literally the words, "We need to talk." And I'd be like, it would just drive me crazy. And eventually I'm like, you can't, when we were having a civil conversation, because you can't do it right then and there, I'm like, you can't do that to me anymore.
We don't need to talk.
If you have something that you want to discuss or confront me about, it's got to be an hour or two before I'm heading up to bed.
We might need to talk, but we are not going to at bedtime.
And nothing
like that.
is helped by the declaration.
No.
Revisit it when you can do it. That's but also,
so all it took was for me to declare that, and it never happened.
and you guys sleep separate times, separate beds.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So when they need a break from the bickering, people tend to hide out in the bathroom with their phone, take a bath or a shower, or make up an excuse to run an errand or go somewhere alone.
I go into my pottery studio in the basement.
You should just
I put on
fire up the
Unchained
kiln,
Melody.
fire up the kiln and get started.
Exactly. Making garden gnomes.
No, getting out of the house is definitely a good one. So here are the top 10 reasons live-in couples argue. And we'll start with number 10. Turning on big lights instead of lamps.
Turning on big lights instead of lamps. You whore!
Yeah, all right.
What's with the big lights?
I hate you.
Have you never heard of a lamp?
That is so stupid.
I hate you. I hate you more than anything in this damn world.
Yes, it's 911. My husband just put on a big lamp, and I wanted a big light.
I never really thought about it, but we do. My wife and I, we have different lighting
preferences.
So do you have a lot of overhead lights, or do you have a lot of lamps?
I actually, so when at night, when I'm in the back room, I just like the lights off, and I like the room only lit up by the TV.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and then like they'll come back there and be like, "It's so dark back here." I'm like, "Yeah."
And just flip on the light?
Yeah. I'm like, "No, turn on that light."
My pants are down.
Yeah.
So yes, turning on big lights instead of lamps. If this is an issue you have in your household, please call us right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't mind hearing from you. 215-263-WMM1.
I never heard of that one.
Neither had I.
Also, if that's your biggest issue,
Yeah, yeah.
you're in
Yeah,
good
well,
shape.
it's number 10 on the list.
That was one of OJ and Nicole's biggest gripes.
Yeah,
number
right?
9 on the list is sleeping with the TV on.
We both do that.
You both do that? Okay,
both
so
do
you're
it.
in the clear there. Yeah, I can't handle that. That's why we sleep. That's one of the big reasons we sleep in different rooms.
Rochelle's a TV on kind of gal.
All night
Claire
long.
is absolutely. When we go away on vacation, she'll have her little iPad there, and we've worked it out. She'll have it right next to her. I can't hear it, and she will fall asleep with that on.
Changing the thermostat temperature is number 8 on this list of reason that
Now
couples-
we're getting into the temperature thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 7 is what to watch on TV.
Well, we're pretty good about that.
Number 6 is constantly being on the phone. Number 5 is who left the lights on. The lights are an issue.
Yeah, I'm turning into turn the lights off in all the rooms that aren't being used, Dad. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll get up to go to the bathroom and
You're turning into that now?
yeah.
Man, I've been that.
You've been that way
the
for a
whole,
while.
My whole
Yeah.
damn life.
Same.
Do you need these lights on?
No.
But I don't bitch about it. I just turn them off.
No, it's
Yeah,
part of your
yeah.
dad's job is to
Yeah.
go into the rooms with the lights on and turn them off.
I'm starting to be that way too, Case.
Yeah.
That did not used to bother me as much, but now it's like, we have a pantry.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll see the door is closed and the light is on in the pantry. And I'm like,
no, that's not.
What is that all about?
Would that be similar to a closet light on with the door
Yeah,
closed?
exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
you
happens.
too. Yep.
I also, I just was talking about this last week. I've been a homeowner. When did I buy my first home? 2003. I don't think I've ever owned a home where every single light bulb in the house worked. Ever. Like, you go into my house, you go into my home right now, and there's at least one light bulb that is, and that's been the way since I've owned a home. I don't know if you guys are the same way.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of lights in your home. So you probably have, I don't know, 30
Mansion
some odd lights.
people. They have people to replace their light bulbs.
The other things that the top reasons that living couples argue, number 4 is what to eat for dinner.
What to eat for dinner. So the lights are big.
I never knew growing up that what are we having for dinner was going to be a topic of conversation every single day for the rest of my life.
Dude, okay, so there was a wholly different article of things, adulting things that people hate. And one of the top ones was having to figure out what the F we're going to have for dinner every single night of the week.
So much better as a kid just showing up and sitting down at the
It was
table.
made for you.
There
I
it
know.
is.
Here, I did this yesterday. I asked my son what he wanted for dinner, and he had a specific answer, and so I knew what I wanted to get. His decision made it easy for everybody.
Yeah, we cook dinner for the kids, and there are times when I've made food and maybe they don't eat what I've made, and I consider, man, you have no idea how good you have it.
How
you've got a live-in chef who's serving up a piping hot meal every night for you.
don't know.
Someday you'll learn. Someday,
And then you leave the lights on.
and then you leave.
How often will you all get your different things to eat for dinner? In other words, how often will you and Rochelle have different things to eat for dinner?
A decent amount.
Yeah,
I mean,
it happens with Claire.
But we've got our kids also are coming in and out of the house at different times. So sometimes it's just like you're on your own, figure out what you got. Rochelle and I, Rochelle and I will generally eat the same thing every night. But the kids kind of figure out what they're going to have.
The best is, Steve, as you're preparing dinner, when your child walks into the kitchen, you're preparing dinner, and they go into the fridge or the freezer, and they pour themselves a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm making dinner. No. And they're like, oh, no, I'll eat. No, you won't.
You son of a bitch.
All right, we're going to go to some calls because I don't want to lose these people. Every single phone line is jammed up with people who have issues
Light people.
with the lights. So let me go to Alicia. Hi, Alicia. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Alicia, so how long have you and your husband been married?
We've only been married for 4 years. We've been together for going on 9.
Did you while dating know you had light differences?
I mean, we moved in together probably within the first year of us being together.
All right.
So I'd have to say the dimmer is our number one fan.
The dimmer.
Explain.
A dimmer on the lights is amazing. I mean, I used to work later hours, so I would come home and all the lights would be on in my house, and my eyes just would burn. I'd be like, nope, what are we doing? Turn these down. I'm dying. So we wouldn't fight, but definitely the bicker, like we were talking about earlier. We would definitely have moments where we'd.
Let me ask you, Alicia. So do you both go around? This is what my wife and I tend to do. We don't confront each other. I'll just go in and dim the lights, or like.
Oh yeah.
So you just go do it. You don't make a big thing about it, but you tailor it to what you want. And I fully assume that she may go in and raise the light level.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, depending on also our moods.
But before the dimmer, did it get ugly?
No, I wouldn't say ugly. I would also say candles. Candles are also really help us too. I don't know. It's something about the light with my eyes. I don't know if I'm probably being dramatic, but I would come home and they would just all be on. And also, I'm coming from an Italian family. My dad, turn the lights off, turn the lights off, turn the lights off. It's been ingrained in me since I was little.
Yep. No, I hear you.
Kathy, you're saying that?
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Yeah, my dad constantly. I mean, you would be sitting in a room and he would come in and turn the lights off, and you're like, "Oh, I'm still here." So I'm the same. I don't do it while people are sitting in the room, but yes, I will walk around the house and turn all lights.
Thank you, Alicia. Is it about money?
No.
Okay. Was it for your dad? Was it
I don't
about
even
money?
pay the electric bills.
Okay.
For my dad, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was about money with him. But I just, Like to me, if you're not in the room, the light should be off.
Okay, let me go to. Yeah, we got to do this one. Kelly looks like she was pretty serious about it. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, Kelly. It says here something kind of interesting about you and your husband and the lights.
Yeah, we were having like a little bit of a bicker in the dark, and he turned on the light, and like it was like triggering a rabid animal. I remember literally flying out of bed, reaching for his neck, and then I don't remember really how he stopped me, but it was a trigger. It was like something out of a movie. It was
You were going to strangle your husband?
Yeah, I like flew out of bed, went right for his neck. I don't know why.
So that completely triggered you.
Went right for the neck.
Turning on the light, it was like rah, like The Exorcist, everything all at once. It was insane.
Wow, man.
Wow.
That's
So does he ever even touch a light switch at all to this day?
Well, we're divorced now.
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Divorced or is he dead?
No, he's alive.
Okay, all right.
He's alive.
Thank you. We appreciate it. I'm going to go to Ian. Hi, Ian. Morning, bud.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, man. All right. So what's your situation with the lights and your significant other?
So listen, me and my wife been married 4 years, been together for 10 years. I like sitting in the dark. She calls me a psychopath, but I like to sit in the dark.
Is that your little pet name, Psychopath?
Yeah, that's it. She calls me her little serial killer. She'll come in, and the only light I have in my living room is an overhead dome light, and it is abrasive. It's like being struck by the light of 1,000 suns. And I'll be
You're not overstating it, yeah.
And she comes in, and she turns on this lamp or this light, and I go blind for 5 minutes, and then we just scream at each other.
So I'm gonna, and I hear what you're saying. I tend to not like the overhead ceiling lights. I prefer lamps and things of that nature. So have you been able to work this out, or do you just square off all the time over the lights?
Listen, my wife is the most beautiful person in my world. She's also Puerto Rican, and I don't want that smoke.
There you go.
All right. You don't want to get that going. Yeah.
All right. Well, have you since bought lamps instead of just having the big overhead light?
You know what? We haven't, because I feel like she just enjoys the torture.
Oh, you're letting her have
She
that little
enjoys
thing.
torturing
Okay.
you, and you wouldn't want to rob her of
But
that.
there are little things that can solve these issues with many people, by
Yes.
the way, if you just look into it and have a conversation about finding a solution.
There are
thank you,
solutions,
Ian.
yes.
And a dimmer switch would be one of them,
Yes.
too. You can get that done. Let me see here. Let me go to Pam next. Hi, Pam. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, what's up, Pam?
Thank you. So I specifically call my husband KV, short for caveman, because he lives in the dark and sleeps on the floor.
What?
Yeah. So when he first moved in with me, there were no lights on in the house, and it was like really scary coming into the house, because he would just be sitting alone on the sofa in the dark.
That's freaky.
No lights, nothing, just in the dark. And there was one day when I came home and all the lights were on and the doors were open, and I panicked. I thought I had been robbed. It's like, no, there's a bat in the house. So
There was a bat in the house.
hit on the bat and got rid of that. But now to this day, also I'm a vegetarian, and he obviously is not. And so we have to eat in the dark because he doesn't allow any lights on.
So wait a second. You would come home to a pitch black house. He would be sitting in a chair in the dark.
Yes.
Nothing, not reading, nothing, just
Nope,
sitting there in
nothing.
the dark.
Just in the dark.
No TV?
No TV.
No phone?
Where were you?
Caveman.
Whose death is he plotting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He is, to the point where, like, we're actually having our 10-year anniversary in 3 weeks, and my friends didn't know what his name was. They only knew him as Katie.
Katie. So you guys have dinner in the dark, no light at all.
So no, I because I'm a vegetarian,
Yeah.
and he eats cheesesteaks. So there was one night when we were sitting there in the dark, pitch black, and I accidentally bit into his cheesesteak instead. And so now he allows me to have a light on when I eat dinner.
How the hell did you go on like complete opposite Tinder? How did you?
What you mean?
And can I touch on this word allows you just used?
Yes.
And
I own the house. I own everything in the house.
Are you a submissive of some type?
No, he's just an asshole.
Oh my God.
Well, there you go. That's a technical matrimonial term.
All right. Oh.
All right, Pam.
Put the damn lights
Wow.
on, Pam.
We have our 10-year anniversary in 3 weeks.
Bet you it's going to be a hoot.
Yeah.
If it happens, because
now you're on the radio and you just call him an a-hole.
It doesn't matter. He probably doesn't turn on the lights to find the radio. Yeah.
He literally doesn't listen to the radio at all, ever.
Yeah. He's like hardcore Amish.
Good luck, Pam. Thank you.
Thank you.
She should get him light bulbs for the anniversary present.
Yeah.
That's a bit much. What if it was the 10-year anniversary? It was the light bulb anniversary.
And by the way, he's going to look at it and go, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. I don't know what
is this? These little collectibles? No, that's a light bulb.
Right.
Oh, Christmas ones.
No.
Let me go to.
These are the things Uncle Fester eats.
I'm going to go to Kathy. Hi, Kathy. You're on the air. Good morning.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, Kathy. All right. So, are you light or anti-light?
I am the anti-light.
Okay. And you.
My husband and I, we are going to be married 37 years.
Wow.
That's set in September. It has taken that long for us to compromise our light differences. And mostly it's from in the mornings, and then like at dinner time in the evening. And of course, because that's when you use light. But he is an overhead, super bright, spotlight kind of a guy.
Don't like it.
I'm like Steve. I prefer lamps, something a little more subtle. But in the morning, when I get up to shower, I shower by the nightlight in the bathroom. It's dark.
That's a little dark.
See, I need light
more
to wake
light.
me
In
up.
the bathroom, I need light.
Yeah.
Then not in the shower. It takes me a really long time to wake up. I'm not a morning person. I kind of like to take my time in the shower and wake up, with some time. And he comes in and snaps on super bright light overhead, and I'm like a vampire. And I just said, "Oh, turn that off." But so what we've come to do is now with our work schedules. Before, when we were younger, our work schedules were the same, so it was a constant battle. And so now that our work schedules are different, I get up much earlier, so now I have my time, and he waits until I'm done. Then he can go in and he can click on his real super bright lights. I come out of the bathroom, I turn off the overhead super bright light, turn on my lamp next to the bed, and it's like back and forth.
Wow. All right, so that you just roll with. You keep adapting to each room, and because you're on different schedules.
Exactly.
All right. Well, then it works out. You're not going to kill each other.
Exactly. But luckily because of our work schedules now.
Yeah.
But before, when we were on the same work schedule,
Right. It wasn't working.
It was crazy. And it's like, and when Preston said it was the number one reason, I'm like, oh my God, yes, that's us.
We had no idea that light. I mean,
it's not number one, but it's on the list.
It's number 10,
in the top 10. So.
And then it floats on a little bit later on. Yeah.
But it was like totally us, and we really don't bicker about like anything else. It's like that's it, lights. It seems stupid.
So,
but it's so true.
During the course of the day, Preston, when you wake up, do you lights come on in the room?
No, I make my way out of the room dark, and then I walk down the hallway dark. I go into the bedroom where Shell sleeps, and the TV is on. So that's my first light of the day, which is a little more subtle light. It's not like a bright. And then I go into the bathroom and flip the bright light on, and I'm good to go. So I do like, if I'm waking up in the dark, which we do, most people wake up when the sun is already coming up, that I need a step up in light. I don't want to wake up to bright light. You know what I mean?
So my lamp comes on, lights up the room, nice, mid-level.
Yeah.
Turn on the hall light, go into the bathroom, the lights are on. Because if I'm brushing teeth, if I'm shaving nuts, I'm doing the whole, I'm on light.
Yeah.
And so that's
Those are the only two rooms, kitchen and bathroom. You can have all the lights on every single time. You know, everything else needs to be
When you watch TV or you're in the evening when you're in the living room,
just the TV's on.
Just the TV. What about you?
TV and lamp.
A lamp. I agree with that.
Is it an old wives' tale that watching TV in the dark is bad for your eyes? I remember hearing that
I've
when I was a
heard
kid.
that.
I don't know if there's any legitimacy to it or not.
Not sure. Yeah, that was an old, an old wives' tale. It may have some legitimacy to it, but I'm not sure.
Gave you a goiter.
It says there's no evidence.
No evidence. Well, there you go. All right, so
Paid for by the TV industry.
a couple of other things to mention because we do have to wrap this up. But besides leaving the light on, I still have the top 10 reasons.
Oh, yeah.
living
Oh, my
couples
God.
Argue. What to eat for dinner was the last one I mentioned at number 4. Number 3, and these are more obvious. Number 3 is money.
Right.
What couples will argue
Surprised
over.
that wasn't number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, no, the top 2, Kathy, you'll understand.
Okay.
Number 2, partner not doing their share of household chores. And number 1, not keeping the house
Clean and organized. Just put it back where you got it. And then it stays organized.
Yeah.
Who is the biggest perpetrator in your house?
Everyone. Oh my God. Well, I'll go like this. I'm like, Jace. And he's like, he just knows. He's like, what did I not put away? What did I not clean up? Where? And he's like, what? I'm like, why are your shoes here? And he's like, oh, I know.
I know. What's wrong with that kid?
No, but he's just a kid. You know what I mean? So he leaves. Of course he's.
I think we're all pretty good at just walking over a mess, myself included. And you said, speaking of shoes, I did some cleaning up yesterday, and there was so many shoes on our steps going up to the second floor.
I hate that.
Me too.
I hate it.
I got rid of all of them. I left one pair of shoes on the steps, and it was symbolic. It was Casey's shoes. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave those
Because
there.
she's away at school.
Yeah.
And your favorite.
And no, I'm not going to say that.
As he's not.
Yeah.
No, he's not saying.
If you want
saying
to
anything.
get the kids to do that, have them wear clown shoes because it'll make it harder to go up the steps if they're leaving them on the steps.
Nothing works.
Nothing
works.
No,
Indiana Jones it over everything.
You can put grenades on the steps. Nothing ever works.
They'll still walk
They'll
over
go
it.
right over them.
So we have this giant wicker laundry basket. It's giant. It's like a huge drum. And so I put that I did the laundry yesterday, and I brought that whole thing down. And then when it was done, it was empty, and I left it at the foot of the steps. And I'm like, I wonder how long this will sit here. I wonder how many times people will walk past this thing and not think, hey, maybe I should bring this upstairs for good old dad.
No. That's like when I let the trash can overflow
Yes.
and saw where everybody else put the garbage.
I think about that a lot.
Rather than actually taking it out to the garage, to the trash can. And I mean, this huge pile of garbage just started building up.
And then it moved.
You see how hoarders start.
Yeah.
I don't want to empty this.
Preston, there are 2 things that happen in your household that I think about fairly frequently, and that's one, and Rochelle going on strike is the other. And like they both had an impact, you know.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they're effective when it reaches that point, you know.
The whole the garbage thing in that, Casey, I've told you guys about before. It's an Australian comedy bit where the guy goes, his wife is like, he's like, what happened to the laundry? He's like, listen, I set it out here and it disappears, and when it's done, it's folded and finished. It happens every time. She's like, you're an idiot. She's like, no, it really happens.
It's magic.
That's unbelievable. All right, so the number 1 is not keeping the house clean. So interesting thing, but the light issue, I was not.
I had no
aware.
idea.
I could see that, but I never really considered it as a real legit issue that couples would have pretty regularly. It's number 10 on this list. And
do you notice what was obvious?
The way they describe it is turning on big lights instead of lamps.
What blew my mind is one of the obvious ones that's not on the list, making sex videos with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah. You would think that would be an issue, but with as many as there are out there. So, all right, anyhow, that's it. We were doing Totally Presbo, weren't we? Yeah, so we're done.
Totally Presbo.
Bye, Presbo.
All right, let's take a break and come back in a second and get you those bizarre file stories that you so richly deserve. Stay there. We'll be right back.
Serby says.
Come on, man.
Give him a break.
I'm just
a kitten-loving man.
One of those days. All right, so anyhow, they found that an annual incidence was 4.5 outpatient diagnosed.
Chicken kisser. Number one answer on the board. Chicken kisser.
The noticer.
With that.
He's ended his noticing for today, but the noticing will go on the Preston and Steve Show.
I have a chance. This is pretty cool. Jared Leto has signed on to star in a new biopic about Andy Warhol.
That's pretty wild.
And so he'll play Andy Warhol. I think he'll be great as Andy Warhol.
Andy! Was that good?
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like
Andy! Terrence Winter will pen the script based on the 1989 book Warhol, the biography.
Do you find him at all interesting?
Yeah.
Of that time and what he
do.
represents, I do as well.
And just what an oddball, strange guy he was, and the fact that he created such a sensation with with his artwork. So
he also created the game Spud. Oh, a lot of people don't know that.
No way.
Yeah,
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol.
Out of boardom, like
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Okay. Wait, how do you play Spud again? I was thinking of Chink.
Excuse me?
Oh, there's a game.
Yeah,
called
okay.
Chink.
I'm sorry, Casey. You're late for your Klan rally.
You've never heard of the game?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
what's
have.
Spud?
Spud, we always used to use a flat ball, like a ball.
Yeah.
That wasn't fully.
Yeah, we did too. What
right?
the hell was the point of that?
It was invented by Andy Warhol.
His wrists were weak.
When you had a ball that you couldn't play foursquare with or something like that, and you had to find something else to do with it, and so you played Spud.
Man, I loved that game.
Spud was a lot of fun.
I forgot how you did it.
You throw it up.
You picked a
Everyone
category.
runs, right?
Yeah, but you had to have a category.
Right, and then you spell out as you move towards the person you're going to throw the ball at, right?
Well, yeah, but there was like an it person, right?
Yeah, right.
Who had
Somebody's
the ball.
always it.
Wait a
And
second.
you picked a category. Say the category was colors, and everybody behind you had their color. So I would say I was the person. I would throw it up.
That's it. And they'd
I'd
have to
yell,
run and catch it.
I'd yell red, and if Steve was red, everybody else would take off. Steve would have to go get the ball.
And then it turns into kind of dodgeball after that, right?
Yeah, because you have to get closer to the person that you want to hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Something along those-
actually a fun game.
I'll have to look up
Because what happens on the throwing process is everyone runs in different directions, but if your name is called as you're running, you realize it's you or your color.
Yeah, and you got to go back and get
and then
it.
you've got to run back.
I feel like I've missed out on my childhood.
It was awesome.
I've never played this game.
And I never knew Andy Warhol invented it.
Yeah.
Well, he was a color guy, right?
He was very much about
Totally,
It doesn't
yeah.
have to be colors, though. It can be anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be all kinds of categories.
Campbell's soup.
So anyhow, I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. But
He's just kind of the last person you'd figure would invent Spud.
oh my God, I've got to quit snorting, man. I am doing that way too often.
You snorted on the golf course yesterday.
I can't help it. It's after a long wheezy laugh, and then I have to inhale, and somehow or another my nose gets involved. I can't help it. Casey brought these into the studio. I have 3 ink pens. They're Bic, just your standard, office ink pen, cheapies.
One might find in any drawer.
Yeah, and these have been mutilated.
What happened?
Clearly, someone has been chewing on these pens.
Well, wait a second. They're kept in this studio, correct?
No. He got these from the what's the number studio next door?
4F.
4F.
Yeah.
In Studio 4F, which is the main MMR studio. And these pens are absolutely mutilated by how badly they've been chewed on.
So who do you figure is the greatest perpetrator, or the most
I know
likely
exactly who it is.
perpetrator?
You know who it is?
Yes, that pen looks extremely familiar to me.
Oh.
Who is it?
It's Matt Cord.
That's what I
Matt Cord.
He used to do that with. I used to him and I used to get. I would basically make fun of him because he would do that to all the pens at the Sixers games. He would use a red and a blue pen, and he would
Chew the F out of
He
them?
would chew the F out of the top of it. And
Matt's got some major teeth.
I always used to be like, ew, that's so gross.
We have a point of contention up on the phones here, Preston.
Uh-oh.
There may be a false accusation.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Pancake's on the line. Pierre's producer. Hey, Pancake.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. So you have a theory on the chewed pens?
Yeah, so I think that it's Jackie.
See, Jackie blames Matt Cord.
Well, because Matt Cord uses different pens. Matt Cord has
That's true.
special
He has
Matt
special
Cord has
pens.
special
He
DJ
does.
pens.
He does. Now, Pancake's right. He has the blue and the red pen that he uses for everything.
All right, well, Pancake, I don't know. You still thinking it's Jackie?
I think it's Jackie. I'm not sure, but we actually call it the pen famine, and we ordered a box of 50 pens because we were getting 2 and 3 at a time.
Wow.
You call it the pen what?
The pen famine.
The pen famine.
Oh, pen famine.
The great pen famine.
The great pen famine,
16, yeah.
All right, Matt's on the line. Hey, Matt.
I don't chew pens.
You don't chew pens ever?
No, I treat I use Paper Mate, Flare, blue and red. I treat them like gold.
You put that cap in your mouth. Do not say you don't.
Well,
but I never chew it. I don't. The chewer's Jackie. Come on.
All right.
All right, so Matt's vehemently, no, definitely not.
He says
Okay.
Jackie is the
Thank
chewer.
you, Matt. Okay, all right.
So it's not Pierre and it's not Matt Cord.
Should we bring in an expert to note the teeth markings and do a DNA test?
That's
on
exactly what I was thinking. Because you have a set number of people who are using that air studio. You can get DNA swabs.
Yep.
And then get samples from all of the chalks, and you could nail this down in no time.
Do you want me to go to Jackie Bam Bam's secret hiding spot and see how many pens he has there?
And see if there's any chewed up ones.
Hang on. Oh.
Can I come with you? I want to see where it is.
Can you divulge that
I'm
to
going
her,
with him.
Case?
Look at how thrilled they are to do this.
I know. All right, hold on a second.
This is what it's come to. How many? That looks like 50 pens.
That's just from Jackie's hiding
Here's
hole.
the chewed up ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These are all chewed up ones.
Wow.
17.
Wow.
18.
We might have a culprit here.
This one has teeth marks on it too. 19. The other ones look clean.
So about almost half of the pens?
19 chewed up pens.
I think I need to apologize to Matt Cord.
Yeah,
I think so.
Sorry.
It's. Are we going to go by the people versus he who smelt it dealt it?
Or people in glass houses, or Jacques.
I'm going with the Queef Club.
Jackie Hughes.
Queef Club!
Yes.
Queef Club!
Nobody's implicated Marcus in this.
Ooh.
No.
You don't think so? He did the overnights last night.
But listen, maybe Jackie may have just stolen these chewed up pens and taken them and
It's
put
quite
it in
possible.
his stash. I mean, it's like you never know until you hear the other
He
side of it.
rescued them.
Why steal chewed up pens? Well, I would steal. Then if I wasn't the pen chewer, I
know.
wouldn't.
Maybe
want...
he's got a problem. Oh, wait a minute. Bam Bam's on the line.
Bam Bam!
Hey, Bam Bam.
I'm like the sixth person of the Preston and Steve show. This is getting to be a good habit here.
It is. It is a good habit.
Jackie, I need to ask you a question. So, have you complained that there are chewed up pens in the studio and that Matt Cord may be the culprit?
No, I never complain about them because I put the pens in my mouth. When you smoke cigarettes and all, you need something in your mouth. You get a little nervous. I don't chew them, but I'll be honest with you. I put a couple in my mouth. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So okay, Casey, I thought you said
he's not being totally forthcoming.
Well, he just woke up.
Matt Cord doesn't have a problem with pens. Matt Cord has a problem with toothpicks. No, never.
All right, we've heard about Matt Cord's toothpicks problem. We've heard that someone has a foot powder issue. We've heard, but this chewed pen thing. Now we have actually found your super hidden stash of pens, and at least
great.
half
I
of
won't
them.
have anything to write with tonight when I get there. That's my.
Don't worry, there's 1,000 pens and markers up there.
You'll have plenty to
You're
write.
good. We'll put them back.
You better put them back, Casey.
Not to
Well,
mention
listen.
the 3 dozen pens you have in your briefcase.
No. I can never find a pen. That's where they're hidden because there's never nothing to write with.
You can't find them because they're all up there.
Jackie, there's 50 of them here, and 20 of them are chewed on.
Well, I'm not going to say I chewed them, but I do say I hide them all.
All right, so if you put them in your mouth, are you sure that at any point in time you don't give a quick little nibble?
Maybe I do, yeah.
Jackie.
Yes.
You just gave yourself a one-way ticket to the penitentiary.
By the way, somebody texted in and said, Cord was just a red herring. It was Bam Bam in 4F with the big pen.
Yes. What about all the panties with skid marks in Kathy's garbage can?
Those are mine.
Oh, those are yours?
Yeah.
All right.
We have it. All right, anyhow.
Well, she immediately fessed up.
But I think we solved something.
We did.
I know. I'm pretty happy that
good.
we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Very rare that we actually do. So
Teamwork.
That was
Well,
cool.
we have to talk to HR now. See what they're going to do.
Bert Kreischer is still here, the machine, the conqueror himself, who will be at Helium Comedy Club today, tonight, and then through the weekend.
Until the autopsy.
Until the autopsy takes place. He's got his bottle of Fireball.
There's no surprise ending for this one night.
Been enjoying this morning.
Just blackout.
Our other guest we love having here anytime he can. There's a very cool party coming up. Some of us have been to it before, and it's for a great cause. For a great cause.
Santa Claus.
You can do it.
Oh,
One of those things.
God.
It's M. Night Shyamalan. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
All right. So, yeah, Bert, I know, was just a huge fan, and he wanted to stick around.
It's so cool meeting you.
Thank you, man.
You've given me so much enjoyment. Do you ever think that? Like, how you've, okay, we were sharing this, and I didn't want to talk about this on air because it may come out.
Tell the story that you were telling us. It's absolutely fine.
I saw Sixth Sense at a black movie theater.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was the coolest experience because it really brought me together with black dudes. Like, as soon as he goes back and he sees the blood, I realized it with every black dude, and I hear the guy behind me like, "Oh, dude's dead, dude's dead," and then I stand up like, "Dude's dead, dude's dead," and we start hitting each other. We're all standing up in the movie theater. It was so, and then we sat in the lobby for an hour later, breaking down the movie, being like, "Yeah, thermostat drops. Yeah, oh, that makes sense. Oh, the mom, she was talking to herself. She was talking to herself. She was talking to herself."
Well, if I can bring people together, that's really
best moment. That was the kid from New Kids on the Block. Shut up! Shut up!
That's the surprise.
Yeah. Last night, and I was just skimming through the channels. Yeah. So you had Unbreakable.
Oh!
You had The Village.
The Village!
Hey, just a minute, Bert.
Calm down, Bert.
You had Unbreakable, The Village, Lady in the Water, and The Visit were all on
TV?
last night.
Wow.
Every single one of them. And is it because it's this time of year that maybe the cable companies say, all right.
How much money do you have?
I think as a new movie is coming out, as it's coming out, they try to play my movies again.
Okay.
So they feel there's more attention and people want to catch up on old movies they haven't seen and those kind of things. So as this new movie's coming out, they start playing the old.
I watched.
By the way, I have to say,
yes.
Whenever I tend to not go on radio shows, I've said this to you guys around the country because like the cowbells and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I always go, would Kubrick do this? And now as I'm sitting next to you in your underwear, I'm questioning my very
decision.
status.
Yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of in high school when I was on the swim team, but this is the last time I think I've seen a male in a Speedo.
Get ready, a wave's coming. Do you underestimate your audiences sometimes in a movie or overestimate them and they'll figure this out now? How did you know we were going to figure it out then? That's what I can't understand. How did you know I was going to get it when he went, and I was like, how did you know I was going to stand up, grab a black dude by his dreadlocks and go, dude's dead? How did you know
I'm going to guess that part he did not know.
Thank you very much, Kath. Oh, I had mentioned with the Letter of the Day, Word of the Week prize, it's only 3 letters this week. Monday is Memorial Day, so we'll have
Labor
Day. I'm sorry. God, I interchange those two.
I know.
Labor Day on Monday, so we will be. We'll have that day off as a holiday, and then after that, our full work weeks will continue. So we in July and August, we pretty much had every Monday off. It's something we started doing a few years ago. So back to the regular schedule after next week.
And we're closing out the year in fine fashion with all the things that are coming.
Working on lots of stuff, but let's do the Bizarre File for now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Delco Trim Light. Visit DelcoTrimLight.com to schedule an estimate on installation of the coolest permanent programmable holiday lighting system around. This is a messed up story. A Colorado man celebrating the birthday of a friend at his gravesite was shot and killed by a fellow mourner when the victim said he started feeling sick and said he had to vomit on a nearby grave.
What? So the guy got sick and he was shot because of that?
That's correct, yeah.
Well, what about, if you're worried about a mess, that's blood now.
Ryan Trillo Falcon, 22 years old, faces charges of first-degree murder in the death of Giano Eugene Chavez. The sheriff's spokesperson said these people were all known to each other. They went there together to visit the gravesite of someone that they all knew who had just had a birthday. They said this is the first for me in my career that we've been dispatched to a cemetery that was in reference to the shooting of a person who ended up dying. The shooting happened on Saturday at Crown Hill Cemetery just before 11 p.m. after the cemetery was closed. The suspect and victim were among a group of mourners who'd gathered to celebrate their friend who had been shot and killed 2 years earlier and had been buried at the cemetery. As family members and friends were gathered around the grave, Chavez told Falcon that he was starting to feel sick and needed to vomit. Falcon told Chavez to go to the street if he was going to go get sick, but Chavez refused and said that he was going to vomit on the grave next to him. An argument began between Chavez and a woman with them at the cemetery. That fight escalated when the suspect pulled a gun from his waistband, struck the woman in the head with the butt of the gun, and then fired a shot at Chavez, hitting him in the chest.
I don't know. To my understanding, this got out of hand.
Falcon then stashed the weapon by a tree and hid in the cemetery until police arrived and took him into custody after a search of the grounds.
I don't know if this is the rule or not, but if you get killed in a cemetery, do you get a discount?
Chavez died at a hospital. The woman hit with the butt of the gun was treated for non-life-threatening wounds at a hospital and released. The suspect later admitted to shooting Chavez, that he did not have a permit to carry a concealed weapon, and he started to carry a gun after his friend, whose gravesite they had been visiting that night, was shot 2 years ago.
I got to say, I do agree with the sentiment of going into the street if you can make it to the street to vomit.
Yeah.
That would have been the appropriate thing to do. I also think it was probably inappropriate to shoot the guy.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
There were several things that happened here. All right, here's a follow-up story for you. A woman caught on camera jumping over a fence and taunting a tiger at the Chanzik, Cohanzik Zoo in Bridgeton, New Jersey, has been charged with trespassing.
Good.
Police said 24-year-old Zaire Dennis was also cited for 2 city ordinances after she was seen sticking her hand through the holes in a wire fence and climbing over a wooden barrier at the Cumberland County Zoo on August 20th. Video shared by the department showed the tiger pacing back and forth before putting both paws on the wire as the woman walked away and hopped back into the walking path. So the restricted area that officials say Dennis entered was also adjacent to the zoo's bear enclosure.
Did you make a visit over there?
A statement from the department explained that they had also were notified of a similar video depicting the same scenario at the bear enclosure the same day involving the same person.
That's her, officer.
So she was going around to all of these incredibly dangerous beasts and trying to get up close and
By
personal.
the way, you can clearly see the tiger makes a snap at her hand.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. A U.S. Border Patrol agent in New York was arrested for ordering women to show him their breasts and claiming that it was part of his official duties.
And is it, in fact, part of his job?
It is not.
Oh.
Border agent Shane Milan.
Because I've seen those shirts that say boob inspector.
Was arrested on charges that he deprived 4 women of their constitutional right to be free from unreasonable searches. According to prosecutors, Milan told 3 women to expose their bare chest to him over a web camera while he was processing their applications to enter the country.
Okay, time for the pap smear.
A 4th woman was ordered to show him her breasts with her bra on, the prosecutor said. Milan told the women that exposing their breast was part of the process of being admitted into the United States, but it wasn't actually for his own gratification.
No!
She got beautiful boobies.
Milan was arraigned on Thursday before a federal magistrate judge in Syracuse and released pending trial.
It's not for me. I'm not doing it for a thrill. It's part of my job. You think I like this?
I just want to hit this sound effect because I don't know what it is. It just says Barbara Walters boobs. If you guys mind? All right, cool.
I understand that you were commenting on boobs.
Okay. I like that. And rest in peace, Barbara Walters.
In Montana, an angler was injured in a black bear attack on the Stillwater River on the afternoon of Wednesday, August 21st. The angler, an adult male, sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The Fish, Wildlife, and Parks described the incident in a news release. They said the angler, an adult male, fishing alone on the bank of the Stillwater River when he encountered a black bear. The bear swatted the man's face and immediately left.
I smacked him.
The man sustained non-life-threatening injuries and did not seek medical attention.
It's just a classic bear move, right? I'm going to just smack you.
Come over and swatted him right in the face.
Smack him.
The bear's behavior was likely defensive in the surprise close encounter, and due to the nature of this defensive encounter, there was no effort to capture the bear
Let's
at this time.
remind you of that footage of the guy who's kind of going up to the bear at the park picnic table, and the bear just casually reaches out and gently slides his claws along the guy's midsection and opens up a couple of big cuts.
Yep.
They're not effing around, them
Smack
bears.
him.
All right, one last story. After his 74-year-old dad commented on his stinky feet, an Iowa man didn't just get mad, he got a gun. David Carpenter allegedly shot his father, who was just chilling on a motorized scooter, and shot him in the face. David, not one to beat around the bush, told 911, I just shot my father, William Carpenter, in the face.
And what was the reason for this, son? Well, he said I had stinky feet.
Miraculously, William survived and explained to the cops that the whole thing blew up over a smelly feet squabble.
I know this is going to sound weird, but I was embarrassed.
Which escalated quite fast.
And I figured the only thing to do, the only logical thing, would be to shoot him in the face.
David fetched his gun during the argument after his dad supposedly hinted at shooting him first. David claimed the gun went off accidentally while aiming it at his dad.
Right.
David now faces charges of attempted murder and child endangerment. He is cooling his heels in jail, awaiting a preliminary hearing, and has been strictly told to keep away from his dad.
Any expert will tell you when you are brandishing a gun over a stinky foot accusation, make sure it's not loaded.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Always. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. Hey, a reminder coming up this week. MMR's Back to School A to Z.
How about that? I am very excited.
Starts on Thursday at noon. Pierre Robert is going to kick the whole thing off. It's presented by A&T Subaru and A&T Chevrolet in Sellersville, and it is thousands of songs from the MM archives in alphabetical order.
I don't want to risk becoming too hyperbolic about this, but I think this is even better than the polio vaccine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we all have our own markers of importance. And
it's just a great time to listen. It's so much fun.
It really is. So that happens on Thursday at noon. So get yourself ready for that. We're going to take a quick break. Come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
It's called the dreadlock moment.
Yeah.
The technical term for it. And
Someone better get a picture of me getting a shot with M. Night Shyamalan.
So what do we drink? What is this?
It's Fireball.
Oh yeah, if you guys are all drinking it, I'll definitely do it.
I'll take a picture.
See,
I'll have a shot.
Anybody who wants a shot, step forward. Now, unless we do this right now, we aren't able to do a shot before 9 a.m. because it's 8:58 a.m.
We got to do this.
That we did shots before 9 a.m. You ready?
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Bert Kreischer, raise it up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, it is a pleasure meeting you, man. Thank you so much for what you do.
Here you go. Toast.
Guys, cheers.
Prost.
Cheers. All right, I got to go to the Helium Comedy Club and do a show now.
Hey, that's pretty
what
good.
are you doing? What are you doing at noon?
Night,
I
by
got an
the
extra
way.
Speedo.
Bill Weston, man about town.
Oh, let's make a call.
Is he out in the hallway?
I don't know. But that's like the
He's dressed as Professor Snape.
It's a pretty good costume.
From Harry Potter. It actually is really good, but I can't believe that's Bill.
Bill Weston to the Air Studio. Bill Weston to the Air Studio.
There he is. There he is. He's here, man about town. Oh, my God.
He looks like Emo Phillips' brother. That's good, Bill. That's actually, you have a sort of Rickman-esque quality to you.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Get on the mic here, dude.
Professor.
Yeah. And
Yes.
do your best Snape impression.
I don't, somebody said, what's his first name? I said Snervius or Severus or something.
Snervius.
What is it?
You got it.
Severus.
It is.
Mo.
What is it?
Severus.
Nervious.
Severus.
Snervius. We should have let him go all day.
Snurvius. I'm Snurvius Snape. I'm
nice to meet
his
you.
slowest brother. I gotta put. My teeth don't sit right.
Snervius Snape. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now are you snooing?
Do you have a wand? Did you get it?
No, I didn't do the wand.
We need to
I had
have
to,
a
when I went
wand.
to, we had a big Halloween party on Saturday
Oh,
night.
here.
you know.
I got a one. I got a one.
I know what he's getting.
I know what he's getting too.
Yeah.
It's probably what they threw out on the field of the Bills game.
Yes, indeed.
right?
Dildo.
That's great.
Hang on a second, Casey. We'll get your Snervious.
It's perfect for your
Yeah, I'm
costume.
not going to hold on to that thing. I'm not. I'm not, because somebody's going to take a picture of it, and I'm not touching that thing.
Say Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviar Leviosa. Oh my God, that is just
That's
wrong.
great, Bill.
Do you want a black one instead or
No.
Was it a theme? Did
No,
you?
sorry, Marissa, you lost your opportunity.
Drumstick. There you go.
Thank you.
There's your
All right.
one.
Were you and the missus doing a Harry Potter?
Yeah, she
thing?
dressed up as
Hermione?
Maggie Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever that is.
Minerva.
Minerva.
Yeah, McGonagall.
Oh yeah. All right. So do you do you have a delivery? Do you know how he speaks?
No. Well,
Yeah. It's
I went
Alan
on,
Rickman.
I know. I
Yeah.
love Alan Rickman. I was talking to people about
Welcome to Hogwarts.
Galaxy Quest and Robin Hood and all these great roles or whatever. But no, I couldn't.
very aristocratic. You know.
Yes.
Finish this line. Turn to page 300.
And 5.
Close. 94.
Okay. All right. That was good.
You are surely wondering
I
why I have summoned you.
Oh wait, he doesn't have his headphones on.
All right.
Severus.
Severus is
This is Snurpy Snipplesmatter.
Here we go.
This hour. It's come to my attention that earlier this evening, Harry Potter was sighted in Hogsmeade. Now, should anyone, student or staff, attempt to aid Mr. Potter,
You have to space out your.
I am Snervius Snappus Snippler, and I drink Snapple
Snapple.
for the enjoyment, and I click the lid.
And my least favorite soup is Snapper.
Snapper.
they will be punished in a manner consistent with the severity of their transgression. Furthermore,
You have to space out your syllables.
That's good.
when
That's
you
good.
Speak.
I
There
will
you go.
have a sarsaparilla.
I had mentioned earlier that I'm a fan of escape rooms. They're a fun activity that you can do with friends or family or coworkers. And basically the concept is you get placed into a room with a group of people, and there are a series of clues in this room, and there's some sort of a mission that you have to execute. Sometimes it's get a key and get out of the room. Other times it's you've got to solve a murder mystery, or you have to find a missing person or something like that.
It's like a real world puzzle situation.
And you're usually given a time limit, about an hour, to get through all the clues, work together, and achieve the mission. And then you're declared victorious. If not, then, well, you didn't make it. So we decided to incorporate that. I think we're going to go to our main man who helms he's got the keys to MMR. He's the man about town, of course. Bill Weston, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, there we are.
Hey!
How you doing, Bill?
I'm okay.
All right.
All right.
We see you standing in front of it says 1313.
Oh,
which is like the Munsters, yes.
So it's I've been told it's the Bates Manor.
The Bates Manor
is the whole deal, and it's a mansion, and Mr. Bates apparently has a lot of cash on hand, and you guys are going to have to get in there and get it and get out. There's a safe somewhere in there that you need to crack. Get in, get the loot, and get out before the cops get there, which I assume is within an hour right after it starts.
He's the patriarch. He is Master Bates, right?
Yeah, he is Master Bates. No, nice. So Bill, we were going to set you up with Jackson and Matt Cord. Are they handy? Are they there nearby?
I have not seen them.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I don't know. It's rather strange for a disc jockey to be late.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what? Maybe we can help you out. Let's see. Is there anybody else we might be able to substitute for? Because we got to get this underway.
Last minute replacements? Is that even doable?
I don't know.
I also hear that there's going to be other members, like a couple other people besides Jackson and Matt. A newspaper reporter is going to come along with us because we act as a team.
Okay.
And you got to have at least 4 people to kind of figure out all the clues and try to advance into further rooms. And
well, you know what, Bill? I think we sent Nick down there because we wanted Nick to make sure everything ran smoothly, and Nick should be on location. Nick, could you see if there's anybody else that we could scare up because we do need to get this underway?
We can't be waiting fully. When they get there, they get there.
Yeah, if
Jackson
you've got,
or Matt.
I think Nick can hear us.
He
Nick,
can.
if you can bring, if there's anybody like cast members or what, if you can bring them on out.
Sorry, I'm now down the hallway. But hey, Bill, here's Oh, this is Pituation.
Oh, God.
Here, come on in, Pitch.
Intern Pituation.
Yeah, he's here with us. And this guy.
Who else we have?
Corner. We got a really tall guy.
Jackie Bam Bam.
Jackie Bam Bam. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Who else?
Last but not least, come on around the corner, young man.
It's Gary Lauer.
Oh, my God.
He's locked in a room with Gary Lauer.
This is going to be the most cacophonous sounding radio bit with Nick's booming voice and pitch like glass shattering. There's nothing but loud people in here.
Well, it works out, Bill, because just by happenstance, the people we believe you'd most want to be locked up with are there around you right now.
Oh, and Bill, if you haven't figured it out, Jackson and Matt were never going to be down there being part of this. We had this set up.
I thought there might be some type of prank going on here because Jackson never gets up for anything.
So we were wondering who Bill, and it's all about teamwork for this, and we thought, well, who might it be difficult for Bill to corral and get? So as much as we love Jackie and he's the most amazing overnight guy ever, he is a bit scattered. He's a little, all over the place.
I got microphones on me and my pants are falling down. He told me to wear pockets. I didn't wear underwear, but
there you go.
Any underwear?
Of course you didn't. And Pitch, he never wears underwear. Pitch, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, this is great. I can hear everybody back in the studio.
Hey!
Everybody. Hey! How's Billy doing? I know Bill Weston's having the time of his life.
Oh, my God. They say this is like a really great team-building exercise. I'm really wondering what the outcome is going to be.
Last but not least,
all of these people.
Let's see how the mayor of Juniata Park is doing. Gary, can you hear me?
This is going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah?
Kindergarten for adult males. I think we're going to have a wonderful time, children.
I think you painted the best picture simply by saying kindergarten.
Yeah, and by the way, Gary, we've elected you team captain.
Oh, it's going down. It's going down.
I believe you have 1 hour from the time this starts. So is there anybody there to officially begin this whole thing, Bill? Is Randy nearby?
Randy gave me a bit of an orientation,
Okay.
like things like numbers on the wall and like there's locks, and I guess we got to find a key to get into the lock of the mailbox. Maybe that tells us how to get into the main door of the next room. And so, I guess
go ahead.
We're ready to get started.
We're looking at the collection here, Bill, on the monitor. It looks like the worst bachelor party ever.
All right, it's started.
Clock is running. Go ahead in.
Go.
Let's do stuff. Let's do it.
Let's do stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So there's a lock on the mailbox. There's also a lock over here on this.
Oh my gosh! The first thing is a puzzle. Oh.
This birdhouse. All right. There's a flashlight hanging on the wall.
Okay,
It doesn't work.
They can't hear us right now, so we're going to listen in, and I'll kind of describe what they're doing. They're searching around the front door.
What the heck is this? It looks like one of those mirrors that they stick under a car to see if you got a bomb under there.
There's probably something.
Use that to look up above, and maybe there's something.
Bill's got the right idea.
I don't think Jackie Bam Bam understands what's going on.
That's the thing.
I think he thinks this is a kid's birthday party.
Yeah, I talked to Jackie this morning, and I'm like, "Look, have you been briefed on what's going to happen?" And he kind of sent me back. I don't know. It's kind of I was just told we got to get out of a room or something. So he doesn't really understand the whole concept of it all.
And Gary looks like he's just like he's picking things up and looking at them, but even if it was a clue, he's putting it back.
All right, let's listen in. Hang on. There's Pituation laughing.
Oh,
Jackie found something.
Thank you. I found a key.
Ah,
where's going, Jack? Key under the mat. Under the mat. All right. Catch, Peg. Oh, you're welcome.
How about the is it small? It's probably this one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're about to open up the mailbox out front. Let's see.
We got it. Okay.
All right, Jackie got it open. He found the key and he's getting it open.
Unlock the mailbox.
All right.
First, we have a letter inside the mailbox.
Let me try that key in this other lock.
What if Jackie's like a Manchurian candidate? Like he's been programmed, like he's Jason Bourne and doesn't know it.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
It's as requested. We've set your alarm code for a 4-digit number. Should you somehow forget the code, simply look around before entering the house. Please let us know if we can be of further assistance.
It'll probably be the number on the front.
Yeah. Pointing to the 1313 house number on the side of the house. Where's it coming from?
Bill wants to know whose phone is ringing.
Your phone off?
It's Gary. Gary's got a phone.
He's yelling at Gary.
I told Gary goes out with a landline.
But is there a keypad?
That's an intercom.
That's an intercom.
It's once you go inside, there'll be a keypad.
Now there's a woman there. Is she part of the? Is she
I think
a
she's
journalist?
the newspaper
Okay.
reporter.
There's another key in here. There's another key inside the
I'll trade
mailbox.
you that key for this kid.
All right, so even just getting in takes this long, Preston.
There's a legitimate newspaper reporter there?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Either that or it's Jackie's girlfriend.
Wait, look, Gary took the second key and he's trying to unlock the front door.
Trying the front door. They got to remember the code when they get in.
Gary just opened the door.
Okay.
Next room, we spent 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
And Bill Weston did none of it.
No, Bill.
Bill Lawrence.
Nice to meet you.
Dolores is-
Read that. You got glasses,
he has to
Bill?
corral
What was the
them.
alarm code?
1313.
Where's
No,
the- where's
so
the
1313.
And
Yes.
there's an alarm going off.
Yep. Hang on.
3, 1, 3.
Did it take it?
It took it.
They did it. Sometimes, Steve, they'll also they'll use computer monitors and so forth to send you if you're headed in the wrong direction for an extended amount of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will send clues over to you.
Will they do it over your phone as well, or will they?
Not the ones I've done.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a monitor that's mounted in the room. You'll hear a little prompt.
Okay.
And you can
Wow.
go over and look at the monitor, and it'll say, have you tried this? And it'll give you a vague direction on which to go.
Oh, here's
There's a video.
This is a painting that's speaking.
Oh, that's cool.
Make haste.
It's a video.
You must work quickly to find your way out. Make your way to the safe and take the fortune hidden inside.
That is cool.
Hey, Bill Weston, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It seems like you guys, we've been watching the entire time. The teamwork is going, it's pretty damn good so
Figure
far.
out which one it is out of all these murders.
Hey, Gary, can you shut up? Shut up. Say that again, Preston.
I said the teamwork seems to be in place so far.
And you just totally undermined his observation by telling Gary to shut up.
Getting near the end of travel season for vacation, summer vacations. Before I go into this article that I have that addresses that, Marissa is taking a trip starting at the end of this week. So the Eagles are playing in Brazil.
Yeah.
And Marissa is going with PhillySportsTrips.com to go to the game and is going to be down there for almost a full week, right, Marissa?
Yeah, we leave Friday afternoon and then we come back. We leave Saturday after the game. So it's over a full week, come back Sunday.
That is so cool.
Yeah, 8-hour flight to Brazil. Really excited. Haven't started packing yet.
So there was a guy who emailed both Marissa and I. His name is Alex Cannon, and he has, I believe, lived in Brazil and was giving Marissa some tips on what to do, what not to do.
Yes, always helpful.
Some of the myths and some of the truths about the area and maybe how dangerous it can be, depending on where you are and what time it is as well. But he gave her some really, really good tips. And then he sent this last second one that we got yesterday. And he said, I forgot one very key thing about the Brazilian culture, and I had no idea. He said they do not flush their toilet paper.
They do not flush their toilet paper?
They wipe, then fold neatly and put it into a trash can, which is usually next to the toilet. That's everywhere in Brazil. He said, I stayed at a hotel, and there were 2 cans in the bathroom, one big and then one smaller one.
Oh,
and he said, so better to tell anyone going to practice their TP folding. It's not like you'll get in trouble if you flush it, but it's not done in Brazil.
Well, I have to know one thing. Do those garbage pails have lids?
I would hope so.
Well, and their system probably is not made for toilet paper. So
No.
then you get caught in that if you're going to clog it. So if they say don't do it.
I was not surprised by this one because when I was in Greece, when we were on the island, we had to do the same thing.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
What if you got a real mess going on?
Steve, there are little things like you can't have the electricity on in the room while you're away. You have to leave your key in like this little port.
What island were you on?
Mykonos.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, there's just some, there's some like really fancy, nice resorts and some hotels, but the little smaller places like, bed and breakfast-y type resorts, no, you were insisted to not flush your TP.
Wow. Okay. So I wasn't aware of that. But outside of that, with travel, there was a Reddit thread where the poster had listed the question in the forum that said, "What is the worst scam that you've fallen for while traveling?"
So Brazil was a location. We'd heard some things about South America and some scams. Have you ever been? Didn't you have a scam perpetrated on you somewhere?
3-card Monty.
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah.
I got totally.
And you were like, I can do this. I can do it.
Oh my God! Look at these people. They're so stupid.
I'm gonna
Look
make
at them.
millions.
I saw where that ace was every single time. Let me jump in here and play this. Meanwhile, the three of the people are splitting my money afterwards.
Yes, that's what they're
I mean,
doing.
they set you up to make it look like it's the easiest thing in the world. And I was, young and an idiot, and I lost like $80.
So, young man, what's your name? Preston.
I lost like $80 in
Really?
3 minutes.
Oh, boy.
How is that possible?
Because it's like you're laying down 20s. I mean, you're playing for big money, but these people were they're losing left and right. How stupid are they? I saw where that was every single time.
You raise a good point, though. There's always confidence in
Hell yes.
people who are posing as regular people just like you.
Yep.
My buddy had to throw down with some gypsies in Barcelona. They were trying to steal something. You've heard of the gypsies will like throw the baby at you.
Yes.
You got to catch the baby, and as you're doing that, then they'll steal stuff from you. But yeah, they were trying to take something from my buddy's friend, and my buddy had to come in and
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty nasty.
Wow. Well, there are a few things that are written about in this particular article. There are people that had said the question was, "What's the biggest scam you've ever had?" And then they go on to list standard scams.
Standard scams.
That
The things
can
you think
expect.
people would be aware of, sometimes you're not.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll roll through a few of these. Should you be
What
traveling?
about the folding the TP scam? Is that an actual
That's
thing?
not a scam. That's an actual thing. So there's one called the handwritten note scam. Travelers should be cautious of anyone approaching them with a handwritten note, as many Redditors warned that it could be a distraction tactic used by scammers to steal valuables, including phones. A user said that they almost fell victim to the trick at a McDonald's in Paris, where a man approached their table and placed down a handwritten note. And they said, I leaned in to try and read it, but he kept sliding it towards him. So I grabbed it off the table, told him I couldn't read it, and handed it back, and then he walked off. The user claimed their friend narrowly avoided a phone theft. He said the scammer had put the note directly on top of my friend's phone and had been sliding it all towards him. Couldn't hide the phone once I took the note. Another person had a similar experience and said it happened to a friend of mine at a cafe in Athens. A woman walked up shaking a note over the top of the table while speaking rapid Greek. My friend had her phone on the table. The scammer distracted her enough and stole the phone. So this is the one you might be remembering, Steve, that I've told the story before. My sister and I and her friend were in Nice in southern France.
That's it.
And we were at an outdoor cafe,
Yes.
and we're sitting at a table, and a guy came up, and my sister and her friend had put their backpack over the back of the chair. And the guy comes up, and he's holding a map, and he's speaking in French, and he's asking questions. And he knew that we didn't speak French.
Distraction.
And so he's talking to us, and we're looking at the map and saying, no, dude, we don't speak French and whatever. And all of a sudden he is like, okay, he didn't, I don't know what he said, but then he took off. And when he was leaving, he ran across the street. And like a car almost hit him and everything. We're like, that dude's in a hurry. What's that all about? And he had grabbed her backpack and taken it right off the back. Passport, everything in there.
Oh, man.
So we had to go to the consulate, which actually was closed that day. We ended up leaving a day early from Paris to find it because somebody found the bag and returned it to the hotel because there was a hotel key in it, but everything was gone.
It sucks.
The passport, the wallet, all that stuff. So we had to go to the consulate in Paris and get it all taken care of, which was a pain in the ass. But that's a standard scam, the distraction.
Do people still use traveler's checks when traveling?
I don't know.
Because I remember the first time I went to France, you had to. It was almost required at that point because, you could protect your money that way. I'm just curious as to whether or not in this day and age with
credit cards and
Apple
coverage.
Pay and every other way that you use money, that if people still travel with
I
them.
haven't heard it referenced in forever. Yeah. And I'll barter sometimes. A lot of times, Preston, I'll bring chickens with me, and I'll use them to barter.
That is international currency.
Yeah. A chicken will always be received warmly.
I can't think of one culture that doesn't appreciate.
I was staying at a 100 chicken a night hotel.
Wow. Chicken. Here's another one: the bracelet scam.
Yes.
Travelers should not just watch their wallets, but their wrists, too, according to Redditors who claimed many scammers will insist on giving tourists bracelets and then demand payment for it. One user recalled the trip to Japan where a man dressed as a monk approached them, gave them a bracelet, and said some nice affirming words before demanding a ludicrous donation.
Yeah, and then they become really aggressive. It was the roses at the Spanish Steps. and they literally put it in my hand, and so I'm holding it, and you're like, okay, thanks, and then you start to walk away, and then they come after you, and we were like, no, here,
You just give it back to them,
but they won't take it back. They want the money.
Goddamn rules. Do they do so in this case though? And I at least this is the scam that I believe that I've seen happen. They'll come in there. There's like a little. They'll give you a little blessing or a little here's this,
Yeah, you think they're giving it to you,
right? And this is good luck, or this is just a little in general gift, and they want beaucoup cash.
Another user experienced something similar in Athens, and they wrote, people aggressively tried to give you these bracelets, saying they're performing an African dance later. They said, I'm not sure if it is so much a scam as much as it is annoying people until they give them the money to be left alone. Either way, it worked on me. I gave them €5.
You know what's kind of a scam, but they are doing the work. If you go to like Times Square and you see these gentlemen they're like flippers and they do backflips and back handsprings and then they'll jump over people.
Yeah.
So what they do is they get this crowd going, right? And then they get a whole big crowd and then they start fleecing people for money. Like, oh, this guy's going to do a flip over 10 people. All right, I need some money. Who's got, and then you. And they'll point to the guy. And then now you're like, do I got to give this guy $20? Like, I'm just
so they're
standing
technically
here.
soliciting.
Yeah.
And they're going to provide a bit of entertainment. It's a little shoddy the way they're doing it, but that's a little bit more straight ahead.
It's straight ahead, but I think they kind of have you over a barrel. They're like, here, give me $20, and there's 100 people watching. You're like, no, I'm not going to do that.
The American version of this happened to me in New Orleans with shots. We went down for a bachelorette party. We were early, so it was like pre-hotel check-in. We're walking around Bourbon Street. It's probably like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. They're hosing off the streets. And they're like, oh my God, bachelorette party. Here you go, shot for the bachelorette. Here you go. And then they turn to the rest of us. They're like, $10, please. After she had already taken it. We got so fleeced for shots.
Yep. The other scam in New Orleans is, and sometimes it'll be kids, they'll say, I'll bet you $10 I can tell you where you got your shoes. And then, you bet them, and then they say, you got them on Bourbon Street, which is where you're standing on Bourbon Street.
Oh.
And if you don't pay up, then some big dude will come around and kick your ass.
I found that if you shoot those people, yeah.
Okay. Here's another one, the baby needs food scam. Many scammers will try to play on people's heartstrings, according to Redditors who pointed out a common scam involving baby formula. One user dubbed it the My Baby Needs Food scam after falling victim to the hustle in Havana, Cuba. They wrote, you are lured into a general store with a pity story. A man's baby can't eat because the government won't sell him enough baby formula. You then buy it for him, only for him to return it to the store later on for cash. Another one wrote and said the scam is pretty mild in the overall scheme of things. It said, my wife fell for the please help my baby formula, me buy baby formula in Mumbai. Ended up going into the shop, buying a whole bunch of groceries for a woman who I'm 99% sure was on the store's payroll. Still very inexpensive with no repercussions and ultimately helping someone, even if slightly dubious, someone wrote.
Where was they get very aggressive, as you said. You were in Barcelona, Kathy, was the with the rose thing?
Was it? Yeah, I mean, Barcelona definitely, yes.
Okay. There are certain legendary, touristy attractions.
Florence, Italy is bad.
Right, I've heard that. And to me, a lot of times, it would be in the best interest of that city to make sure that's...
Yeah, but it happens at all the touristy attractions.
Yeah.
Like, they're just out there waiting for you.
A few people are texting, and the monk thing happens with the bracelets in New York City all the time. I've had 3 texts come in.
Really?
So it happens there, and I've seen the people with the costume wearer, the cosplay people that are overly aggressive. And will bite your head off if you take a picture of them without giving them money,
right?
Stuff like that.
Usually in the most piss-soaked, stained, horrible outfits. Like there was the Tickle Me Elmo who was cursing out people.
Yeah, there was video of them fighting. Getting in fights with people.
They're the best.
And here's the last one on this list as far as scams go that people reported in: the boat tour scam. It says, be careful who you book a tour with. A Redditor revealed how they were scammed by seemingly innocent elderly boat tour operators. Said, me and my partner went to Thailand, and we really wanted to go on a boat tour around some islands. I remember I was saying, be careful. There are a lot of scammers who will tell me random price. So I chose this elderly man who looked really innocent and sweet. We decided on a tour and asked for a price. He said that the price of this tour for the two of us will be around $200, which sounds pretty fair for a whole day's tour with lunch and a few snorkeling stops along the way. We reserved our seats, paid everything, and patiently waited for tomorrow. As tomorrow comes, we go to the, quote, meeting point. Eventually, after waiting more than an hour and a half, we went looking for that man, thinking maybe he forgot about us, but his quote-unquote place was empty and locked. So naturally, we asked other sellers where that man was, and one said, sadly, he passed away late last night.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
And you're on vacation someplace. You don't know.
Yep. And then they said, now the
what a sad thing.
Now the best part of the story. 3 days after that passing away news, we were walking around that same spot, and we saw him there. I couldn't believe my eyes. So moral of the story, don't trust anyone, even sweet-looking elders.
You're alive!
They said we were left without the refund because he said, I've never seen you before in my life, even though we showed him our tickets and that he gave us that day.
We were in Ireland. Oh, my gosh. What are the, why can I not think of it? What are the islands that you have to, you go over to?
In Ireland?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh my God, I can't think of the name. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But anyway, you have to take a ferry over. So we're over there for the day, and we were only there for the day. We were not staying. There's like one bed and breakfast, and but most people just come for the day. So we wanted to see most of what was there to see, and this guy, we're walking, on the streets and in the hills in the middle of nowhere, and this guy pulls up and he's like, hey, do you want to pay me for the day? I can drive you around. I have a few other people in the car with me. You'll just have to go together. And we were like, oh yeah, sure, okay. And so he drives. He goes, okay, I'm going to drop you guys off here. And I'll come back and get you. And so then he takes the other people and they go somewhere. Well, dude never came back. I mean, we were
You paid ahead of time.
Yeah, I think we paid ahead of time. We were in the middle of nowhere, and we had to get back to get this ferry. There was no way we were getting back in time, not even close. And we're like, what the hell do we do? Well, sure enough, we made it to a little grave site that was a tourist attraction. And when I say tourist attraction, there was probably 10 people there.
Right,
it was
yeah.
touristy for this little place we were in. And the guy pulls up. You should have seen his face when he saw us. He couldn't believe we had actually made it there. And he was, and the people we were with were like, you are taking us to where we are going. And we just got in the guy's car, and he was like, I mean, we got it.
You rarely get that opportunity.
Yeah, he was, his eyes just got so big. I remember
Freaking
his
Americans
face.
walk like bullets.
Seriously.
Kathy, was it the
friggin' Americans?
The Aran
Yes,
Islands?
the Aran Islands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Do you remember Troy Schubert, guys?
Oh my God!
Yes.
Troy Schubert is a legendary local Philadelphia scam.
Yeah, he got me, and it was one of those things where he was offering me cheesecakes that he had in his trunk.
Yeah, that was his method of operation, right? He came up short with money.
Mm-hmm.
He needed money.
He's dressed in a suit.
Right, so that kind of deflates he's just, begging for whatever.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he say that he worked at the Embassy Suites, or
Yes.
there's something to do with the Embassy Suites?
Yeah.
He had a whole...
I do the morning show at WMMR.
Yeah, he had a whole backstory, a couple of different backstories. Because if you remember our friend JoJo, who we worked with for a number of years, she had a Troy Schubert run-in as well.
Yeah.
My run-in with him, it was one of these, I was literally getting ready to go on this road trip, and I just didn't want any bad vibes.
Right.
And so I was like, here, just take the money, go.
I'm going to help out a fellow person. Don't even need the cheesecake.
Uh-huh.
But the idea was you helped him out. But if you helped him out, he had cheesecakes in
the trunk of his car, yeah.
Right.
So he needed money for to change the tire or whatever it was. But my car's 3 blocks away, and nobody's going to walk with you to the car.
Right. Was the exchange so you wave off the cheesecake, which is the thing.
I wave off walking to his car to get cheesecake.
Which blocks away.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a cheesecake that badly.
Mm-hmm.
But what if he picks the number one cheesecake?
Man, right. Are you kidding me? I've been jonesing for cheesecake all day.
And I love trunk cheesecake.
And he had vouchers for the Embassy Suites or something like that. And we had a couple of Casey and JoJo we knew fully got scammed. We brought it up on air, and then all these people started calling in. Same guy, same routine.
We got his mug shot.
Yeah. Boy, that was ages ago. It was decades ago.
A long time ago. There was a dude who was working on Henry near me,
Henry Avenue. Yep.
And he was the note guy. He would come up, didn't speak English.
Yep.
Was needed to get for, it's something like, and he handed me the note, and I quickly, no. Now, I always perceive a scam, but what I did catch a little bit of the thing was that he needed to get to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, this has got to be a scam. And then you don't do it and you feel bad. And then you see the same guy there on the same corner doing the same thing.
Yep.
And then, you don't want to be overly cynical, but 9 times out of 10, they're trying to take you for something.
I thought, go ahead.
But I enjoyed my cheesecake.
Nick pulled up a text concerning traveler checks. It said, traveler checks, my in-laws used to get them for all travel. Sometime in the 2010s, their bank told them that they were the only people to use them.
Wow.
And they only stocked them for them. After 2015 or so, the bank stopped keeping them, so they're kind of dead. Credit cards killed them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought this was a scam. I went to visit my dad's gravesite. This is back in May, and there was a note that was on his tombstone, and it just says, hey, it's little Johnny. I took your stuff down. Call me anytime. I can meet up with you and give it back to you. And then he leaves a phone number. And I'm like, what the freak is this? Like, you know.
Is it Little Johnny or Little John?
No. Yeah. No, it's Johnny.
Okay.
As it turns, I thought it was a scam. And I was like, this dude's trying to scam my mom. You know what I mean? And anybody tries to scam my mom.
It's stuff you'd put down in, like, flowers and stuff?
Yeah.
And then he'd taken it.
My mom doesn't do flowers anymore because the deers eat them. But, an Eagles flag or cheesecake or something like that. And so I talked to my mom about it. As it turns out, this guy's legit. He's just doing a nice thing and trying to clean up people's grave sites. And I'm like, can you tell him to not touch your stuff? You see him all the time. He knows that you go there regularly. He doesn't need you to clean up.
So he arbitrarily cleans up grave sites and then charges for it?
He isn't charged for it, but he'll leave his phone. Well, don't take the stuff. Why don't you just leave it?
Meaning that he will give it back to you if you want it?
Yeah, he's not trying to sell me my stuff back.
We're not.
Just leave it there.
You
Why
don't
did he
take
move
and then put things there and then take them back.
I know.
If you suspect
I always thought the cemetery would sometimes have.
They will.
And then they resell it.
To do that. And then they sell it and open a cheesesteak or cheesecake emporium.
You ain't had cheesecake, so you've had cemetery cheesecake.
Cemetery cheesecake.
It's the best.
2 words you never thought would be next to each other.
Cemetery cheesecake.
Is that better than drunk cheesecake?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God,
Please.
yeah.
Oh, it smells like death.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
A little bit of formaldehyde.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyhow, if you happen to be traveling or maybe planning travel, I know we're at the kind of the end of the travel season. Those are some classic scams that you need to watch out for.
I know a lot of people who will wait till after school kicks back in to take their vacations.
Really?
And I did it before kids. It was one of the best vacations I've ever taken, and it was to the to Yellowstone and Grand Teton, and everybody had left because everybody's back at school. It's like, if you can travel next week, do it.
Before I wrap up, there was one last scam, and we talked about this several times. Are the people who would be in the Target parking lot who pretended to be musicians.
Yes.
He's talking about this.
Would have a violin, and they were just essentially they were lip syncing with a violin. They had recorded violin music playing, and they would pretend as if they were playing along. And if you weren't paying close enough attention, it looked like they really were.
Plymouth Meeting, Target, Kathy.
Oh, yeah. They were out there for a while.
They were out there for a while.
They
and
put a stop to it.
Yeah. They were doing it at the Lawrence Park Shopping Center. Caught them there for a little bit.
I forgot about that scam.
Mm-hmm. I was literally just talking about that the other day to one of my kids, and never mind. I don't remember where I was going with that.
Okay, it's all good.
Well, as you're wrapping up, Preston, really quickly, I'm actually putting together a travel blog that I'll be posting throughout this whole trip. So if you do have any advice, the good stuff for my trip to Brazil, and you can follow along with my things, please go to PrestonandSteve.com and drop your advice there.
May I ask, Marissa, that you keep a photo journal of your folded toilet paper?
Yes.
Please.
I dare you.
Each one. You can make a lovely mosaic out of it.
I would love to see do something origami would be nice.
Yeah.
See that swan? That's covered in crap.
By the way, Sammy's on the line. We're not going to be able to go to him because we're wrapping up, but they said they got scammed in Miami with a snake, asked for a photo with a snake, and then wanted money. I just saw an article yesterday that in Atlantic City, a local politician has put forward a motion to no longer allow snakes on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Do you see a lot of them on the
Not in
boardwalk?
Wildwood,
Yeah,
no.
it's missing cheesecake.
But they do that. You know, we'll come up and have a picture, or they just hang out and let people see and touch the snake. Now, actually, in Stone Harbor, I did see some people sitting out with turtles.
Okay.
They had really large turtles that they kept in a little wagon, and people could come by and take pictures of those. But yeah, they don't want. They're going to ban. They've banned dogs on the boardwalk, and now they're going to go through and try to ban other animals from having them out there in Atlantic City.
Besides, walking a snake takes forever.
It does. On the Wildwood Boardwalk, I don't know if it's still there, but there was a reptile house of sorts.
Really?
Yeah, like you can go in and see snakes and alligators.
I think that might still be there.
Yeah, I think it is too.
All right, anyhow, those are scams. Keep an eye out for them. Just give you a heads up on that whole thing. And yes, Marissa is going to Brazil.
Exciting.
At the end of the week, and we'll be there. And by the way, Philly Sports Trips, they're the ones that we're partnering with for the spring training trip in 2025. And do we still have people still signing up for this, Casey?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah, it goes through September 8th. So if you go by the local PJ Willihan's, pop in there and you will see a display with us. There's a QR code, and you can get signed up to win a trip to join us for spring training in Clearwater next year.
Yeah, because Marissa's going to be in Brazil. I'm going to be at the PJ Whalehands in Wynwood next Thursday on September 5th.
Nice.
So you can enter then.
And I got confirmation yesterday that our special guest for spring training 2025 will be none other than Charlie Manuel.
Oh, excellent. You will love hanging out with him,
Love
man.
that guy.
Super nice guy. And if you'd like to talk baseball, dude, it never gets old to him.
And the stories are good.
Yeah,
they're great.
phenomenal.
They're the best.
All right. Let's take a break. Come back in just a moment or two. Don't forget Tattoos Day. Text word tattoo at 39333. Floating World Tattoo and Piercing offering up a $350 gift certificate for a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo you might win. We'll be right back.
Good. We got a team here, and
we're doing stuff.
Are you guys impressed by just how this room looks so amazing?
Phil, why are you
Steve is absolutely right.
Randy was telling me that this is not just cheap side. Were you?
Whose phone keeps going off?
Pad making this noise?
It might be that pad.
They are stuck apparently at a point. They're attempting to play a game of chess, it looks like, and it's not going well.
Maybe they need some help. Bill, are you there?
I'm here. Yes.
All right, Bill, are you guys stuck on a clue?
We're kind of stuck. Part of the thing is like we had to find this chess book, and we've configured the chessboard exactly in the diagram of the thing. But it just looks like a regular chessboard and pieces on top. It doesn't look like there's some hidden lever or something that's going to be exposed. So we're kind of stuck on it.
Does it look like a number or anything like that? Are the chess pieces in a number?
Oh.
Is there anything else that goes in conjunction with the chessboard besides just that book that's there?
Do we have to, maybe we play the next move?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
But who knows whose turn it is? That's the thing.
So the black moved over here. He took the rook.
Set the board up exactly like it's in the book.
Okay, Randy sounds a little impatient.
Randy does sound impatient.
What are you guys, morons?
Maybe you need to double check it. Maybe
Stupid.
Play chess every day.
maybe he's saying you didn't do it correctly.
I'd rather play checkers. It's a lot easier.
Better than this, guys. Come on.
All right, so yeah, maybe you guys didn't set it up properly, and when you do, it will trigger something.
Okay. So bishop, pawn.
Gary has a magnifying glass.
Check that board.
Which he doesn't need to be using.
Wow. Look and see if there's something else.
Oh, this is straight up from Da Vinci Code.
Wow, that is wild, dude.
All right.
What am I hearing?
Oh, here, I got something.
Okay.
I cracked the cipher thing.
Oh, look, we opened the fire.
Oh, we did something!
Let me go first. I want the money.
How did that? Go ahead, Bill.
Quit yelling. Listen, grab them keys. All the keys, grab. There's a metal box here. Axes on the door.
Can you pull one? Don't. All right.
There we go.
Young Preston, we're going to do this, brother.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Go for it. Okay.
All right, that opens
Good
up.
door.
We've got a.
We're in another room, I think.
We got another room.
They just opened a secret door. Bill, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You guys just got into a secret door, it looks like.
This is wild. Wow, there's a lot.
Oh my
We're in our
gosh.
third room,
These
Press.
people are so loud.
Jackie. Jackie, are you excited?
On the chain.
Flashlight's not working.
It's such a demure group.
Are you finding this pretty engaging? It looks like you're having a pretty good time.
Let me see if I can fix this.
I'm a little frustrated.
There's no lights in this third room, guys.
The chessboard was a difficult one because we didn't know the designation between a king and a queen, but
Okay.
it was pretty cool.
That's what the problem was. Okay.
All right, but just watching it, it looks fascinating.
Oh.
Gary,
That's amazing. That's that's awesome.
Okay, it says Isaiah 11.
All right, I don't want to give
No, we
away
don't give
any
too much.
any clues, so I'm going to turn that down.
You know, it's a bit of revelation here, Preston. I think Gary Lauer has his thinking teeth in because he's doing a great job.
His thinking jam.
It's jam teeth. Preston, is this how it normally works where you go from room to room? Because I was under the impression you were in a room and you stayed in that room until you could get out.
No, sometimes there are rooms. I was in one time where it was a false wall and you had no idea there was another room, and then we did something and all of a sudden it creaked open and you're like, oh my god, so or you're like, does that door open? I have no idea, and eventually you find a key, you open it, like yes, and then while you are excited about that, then you have a whole new room of clues that you got to go through. There it is. You have a whole new room of clues. You're like, oh my god, here we got to start over again. But then again, there might be things in that room that pertains to something that was 2 rooms ago that you need to have remembered.
Okay.
It's cool stuff.
Gary Lauer, did you hear that you have 2 minutes and 40 seconds?
We're working on it, Casey Foster. We're working on it, brother.
Thank you.
We're dripping. We're dripping with sweat here.
They're dripping.
I just wanted to gag now.
Yeah.
My balls are sweaty.
All right.
Maybe just do it in.
Hang in there, sweet tea. We're going
So-
to do this for you.
They're actually working on the combination of the safe.
Yeah, it's
Bill is very happy.
Bill's looking at the camera.
You can tell by his shaking the head no.
He looks deflated.
You don't have another one?
Time ran out.
Time ran out. That's it. All right.
Sorry, never tripped.
Sorry, guys.
You
Time's
guys
up.
were this close. We did everything. All you had to do was crack that safe.
So Randy's coming in to tell them what they did incorrectly and what they need to do to finish it. So
What's the other number?
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Thank you to Randy Bates at Bates Motel and Bates Motel Escape Room.
Oh, very
And
exciting.
Bill Weston, Jackie Bam Bam, Pitchuation, and Gary Lauer for participating in that event this morning. And if you've never done an escape room, and this one, looking at the video, and I've done a few of them myself, looks top notch.
Nearly 2 million people are under evacuation orders in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, where residents stocked up on supplies and boarded up homes as Hurricane Matthew marches towards the U.S. We have. Do we have some clips from?
Here you go.
No.
No, this is not working at all.
What is it? What were you hitting?
I'm hitting the button that starts whatever is on the Vox Pro to play.
Nothing.
Sorry,
Okay.
it's frozen, guys.
That's all right. At least
I give today's show a 10 so far.
10 so far. How do we achieve a 10? There we go. So early.
It's like 10 minutes in. At least 16 deaths in the Caribbean have been blamed on the storm, with heavy damage reported in Haiti. As the early morning approached Thursday, Matthew was centered about 295 miles southeast of West Palm Beach and moving northwest at 10 miles per hour.
10.
16. 10!
My mother and sister live in Florida. Now, they live on the Gulf side. They live near Tampa and St. Petersburg. The people there are so desensitized.
They are.
To these huge storms. I'm like, Mom, you guys, I mean, over the years, I've been like, Mom, are you guys going to head north? She's like, nah, we'll just, we'll just stay here. And
You know how the 24-hour news cycle wants to amp up everything. But they're saying this one, yes, be really cautious of this one. It's hitting hard against the state.
It's going to be a Category 4 when it hits land there.
Right. Will she at least, I mean, I don't see your mother out there plyboarding the windows or anything like that, but...
She bought some plyboard.
What's that, plywood?
Plyboarding.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Plywooding the windows.
Boarding up.
Boarding up the windows, but they do it with plywood. Anyway, does she have
like special shutters that cover the windows?
No, well, she lives in a condominium like community or apartment complex.
Yeah, I was down in Florida. This was years ago when a storm was coming through. I have family that lived down there my whole life, so we were down there. A storm was coming through, and I remember my aunt was like, "Okay, let's go open all the windows," and I was like, "Open the windows?
Yeah.
What?" There was a tornado coming through, and we had to open all the windows, and then we were hiding in like doorways. It was pretty damn scary.
That growing up in kind of the tornado alley area, that was.
Oh my God! Tornado! That was me.
The belief was that if you open the windows, it kind of depressurizes the inside of the home, and your windows won't explode. But I think it's been proven false. But some people think that you're supposed to open the windows.
And it was pretty scary. Like that wind was whipping through the house. I mean, stuff was flying all over the place.
Well, you hope the best for them down there. I mean, Haiti got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just.
I said plyboard. I meant to say plywood boards. I just let down the word wood. Let's move on.
Okay, we're going to move on. A second 12-year-old has been arrested and charged following another clown threat against a school in Toms River. On Tuesday evening, police say that at no time was there any credible threat, and it appears to be an ill-conceived hoax. The girl was arrested and charged with third-degree criminal count of causing false public alarm.
Anyway.
That was fast. We have that isolated now, yes.
Anyway.
And it's so loud.
So today when you're dropping by the 10 store to pick up your plyboard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was like the start of his Broadway show.
I loved it, man. My favorite part of the day so far.
Anyway.
And it's early.
It is.
And that's going to continue for the rest of the morning.
All morning. Nick just pulled this up. We're going to talk about something else, but I can't not mention this. Bob Dylan won a Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Was he awarded a Nobel Peace Prize, huh?
Literature Prize.
Literature.
Yeah. The 75-year-old rock legend received the prize for, quote, having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. Yeah.
So he didn't win a Peace Prize.
No, he didn't win the Peace Prize. He won the Literature Prize.
It's kind of interesting that he won a Literature Prize for a body of work, not something that was just released.
Specific.
Right?
Yeah, it's usually, by my understanding, it's awarded for something. For example, who was the last recipient? And they won for a specific work.
I'll look it up.
Nick, you know off the top of your head. You know what? I don't know, but yeah, usually it's for
like Harper Lee. Didn't she win for
Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah,
Kill a Mockingbird. Or was it her laser tag place that she had?
Harper Lee, do you love the thrill of combat? Set against a futuristic dystopian world? Well, then you gotta try laser tag. Pew, 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 pew. I'll kill you, you cyborg mother effer.
Let me see here. Nobel Prize Literature, Bob Dylan, 2016. Svetlana Alexievich won last year.
That's for the 18th Where's Waldo book. Apparently, it was the most difficult time finding Waldo.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyhow, he's got a Nobel Prize under his belt now. So.
What do you get? It's like a WWE belt, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. No, I have no idea what the actual prize looks like. It's got to be, I don't know, some kind of a plaque or
a hat that says "I'm number one."
That's a good question.
I think for the Nobel Peace Prize, you get something like $250,000. It's a significant chunk of change.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what you get for
Amazon credit.
And Amazon, yeah.
In Amazon credits.
Oh, my God.
Kathy, the dream come true.
Forget it.
Yeah. Casey.
Yeah.
He went in and heard a piece of audio from our previous break, and he came in. I don't think I've ever seen you that beat red, laughing that hard and unable to breathe before.
Oh, God. I just hope this is as funny for you guys.
He said it may not be funny for us, but it clearly floored him.
Because.
And what happened? You caught it.
No, you know what? Actually, a listener, and they texted in. Usually I hate the text board. But somebody texted in something they heard that none of us heard. So we went back and Marissa pulled up the audio. And, listen, we've worked with Kathy for how many years now?
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
No one knows.
And
is it 28 years?
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years.
So what I heard and what this listener heard is so out of character for her.
that it just floored me. And when you take it in that context, not the context of how it was meant, but how it is heard.
All right.
Oh my God! What?
It's
Just play it.
hilarious.
All right, here we go. It's very short. It's 4 seconds long.
Accidentally at the same time,
right?
Yeah. So she says, "Listen," and then
now I
the
can
part.
cut that out. I can cut the. All right, now it's just the good part.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
As if she's saying, "Listen, I'm going to
listen,
fart,
guys.
and listen to me fart."
Listen, guys.
If it was cleaner.
Yeah,
if there
it got
wasn't,
cut
if
off.
Steve is talking over her, that's Nick, I think. But
Maybe I can clean it up.
You
a
ruined
little
it,
bit
Nick.
more.
no, it's
Way to go, Nick.
Hang on, you're going to try and edit this on the fly?
Yeah, well, try it there.
The
Yeah.
the sound effect cuts it off. It's not beforehand.
Could you
it's
do me
after.
a favor, Kathy,
do it
and just say,
again?
"Listen to me fart," and then play that? Could you
Go
do
ahead.
that clean? Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, just say.
No.
Oh no, you don't want to do that and have
No,
that live on
that's
as a clip
okay.
that we play 200 times a day?
No, I'm good.
What don't you want to say, Kathy?
No, it's fine.
Sacha Baron Cohen has his birthday as well. He is 45 years old. What's the last thing he did?
Brothers Grimsby was the name of
That's
that.
it. Yes.
Oh, you just knew that, huh?
Waiting, man.
Just off the top of your head, you just knew that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
That's
so inside for us, but we,
right.
we needed that for a minute.
We'll explain it. Bill yesterday said he wanted to make sure that Nick didn't come off as too know-it-all-y.
And that he should say, I found this on the internet.
And I had to clarify to Bill that I had asked Nick to look for the information that he provided. And I think people know that. We say all the time, Nick, can you check that on Wiki for us or rock us a Wiki? So Nick doesn't profess to be the resource of all the world's knowledge.
Casey, had you just been waiting for the first moment to say
Not
that?
the first moment, but there was a scene there. And I told him yesterday, I'm totally going to do that to you.
That was
Chuck said
awesome.
yesterday, he's like, I can't wait to the passive-aggressive moment when you guys mentioned that on the air.
And here we are, bright and
And
early.
here we are. Oh, my God.
That was awesome.
I can discern a tonal change too when you're reading off the screen. You become robotic.
Yeah, and here's the other thing: when I read it off the screen, I get it right. Like when I come up with a fact on my own, chances are I'm wrong.
But that's kind of your charge. Is you're the one.
Thank you.
We'll say all the time. Could you check that for us?
So you just knew that, huh?
I did just know that. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's last movie, The Brothers Grimsby.
All right, so he's
knew that
but
off
that's
the top of my head.
But that's a classic building.
Yeah,
and that's why we loved it.
Well, we did pull up the some of the top costumes that have been chosen. I forgot what the source was, but number 7, Game of Thrones, any character from Game of Thrones.
All right, who would you go if you were to have, because you are a huge Game of Thrones fan?
Yeah.
Name your character of choice.
I'm trying to think who would be
Jon
worth
Snow?
doing and what would be worth pulling off. Yeah, Jon Snow would be pretty awesome. You get a sword, you get this big black outfit.
What about
and
the
everything.
Hound?
What about Phoebe Snow, his sister?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
What about the mountain?
It'd be no. It wouldn't
The
be
hill?
mountain. No.
Lover's Lane.
There is one near Phoenixville. I was Rochelle and I drove on it. We were driving somewhere and ended up on that road by accident.
And is it in fact a
the name of it is Lover's Lane. It's not a. I don't think it's a classic hang out and make out joint, but
This one's in Princeton.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was slightly secluded, if I remember correctly. Nick, are you able to locate that?
Yeah, you know where that canal is, Preston, near Montclair, not too far from Produce Junction. It's right near there.
I want to say there was a cemetery nearby there.
Okay, that's the one in Phoenixville, but not the one that Kathy's
How was
talking
the
about.
cheesecake at that cemetery?
I don't know. We didn't try the cheesecake. But yeah, Lover's Lane.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
So there are a few of them that exist for sure. So today, my youngest child starts their final year of high school.
Oh, my God.
Today, school's begun. And so this is...
They go up so fast.
This is the last of the, I guess, what do you call, kindergarten through 12th grade?
Arbor Day.
No, not Arbor Day. But I know school, but I mean, college is afterwards.
The
but I mean-
regular... Yeah, what is the word for that?
I don't know.
Yeah, the classification. It's standard.
What's before undergrad? Because undergrad would be college, right? What is... What is that?
I'm not sure. I don't know how you quantify that.
And there should be a word.
With what definition? But this is the last
of the traditional education.
Traditional education. Thank you for Caroline. So pretty.
It is something. It is very cool. I was talking about. We were talking off air about how if you work it right. I remember working it that I had like study hall and art class. And stuff like that.
Yeah. Apparently, Caroline's schedule for 2/3 of the year ends at lunch.
Enjoy it, because life isn't going to be like that.
Yeah.
And also said to me, which I thought was pretty cool, last night said, tomorrow is my last first day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, man. First day back to school. Oh.
I remember I'd get dressed. I'm a little older, so I'd put on my suit and go to school. It would be great.
You loved the first day of school?
Kathy, I loved the first day of school.
He had a perfect attendance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you love school.
Well, so I also during the summer, I had my summer friends. So all those people that I went to school with, I hadn't seen them since June. You know what I mean? So I was excited to see everybody.
I still hate the first day of school. Poor Jace, he's going, and I'm like, oh, I hate this for
Is
you.
today
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
His first day?
Yeah.
Leading into, so by the time I got to high school, leading into the first day of school wasn't as abrupt as it was because I was, and the same thing would go for people who were in other activities, but I was in marching band, and so we had band camp.
Right. You went back earlier.
A month or so before school started. So we were there every day working on the show, and it started early. It already felt like I was going to school.
Did you feel you're being robbed of some of your summer?
A little bit, and the thing was, you couldn't be in band without being in marching band. It was a requirement; you had to, and so there was no getting around it. And so, part of my summer got sucked out of me.
I wouldn't stand for that.
My nephew's in Virginia and my nephew in Colorado. They've already been back for 2 or 3 weeks at this point. But my son Ben, he doesn't start until next week, which at this point is kind of late for most students. And
it used to be the norm.
That was the norm for me too, growing up, Steve. Yeah, it was always either Tuesday or Wednesday after Labor Day, but. Next week, Ben's, and he starts as a senior as well, Preston, it starts an hour later. They moved the start time back because they're, and which he's thrilled about. There's a
when
bunch,
is this? When does it start? I'm sorry.
What's that?
When does it begin?
An hour later than it used to?
No, I mean, it starts right away. I thought you said it was...
He starts school next week.
And that's when the schedule, the earlier hour begins.
They shifted to an hour. No, they shifted to an hour later. And he's thrilled about it. Yeah. And it only school ends 40 minutes. So somehow they adjusted the times throughout the day so that the whole day doesn't go too terribly long. So he gets to sleep in a little bit, which I think a lot of schools, Kathy, and maybe you can speak to this, a lot of schools are shifting in that direction of later start times.
I think they're trying, but it's, the community never likes too much change all at once.
Yeah.
But there are studies that show that especially high school kids, if they get more sleep, they're more productive and will do better at school.
It's true. What you're dealing with, though, is a lot of parents are with their jobs are said, I need you out of the house by this time. And it conflicts with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're in high school, you can stay home and raid the liquor cabinet.
Well, and he'll be shifting back from the noon wake up time, which he's been experiencing since he got back from camp.
Are you guys going to do that? We got to start this transition now. Luckily, Seamus works on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so he's kind of got to get up early those days, but he's still going to bed too late. I got a text from him 2 a.m. saying, "Hey, can you wake me up at 6?"
Oh no!
Yeah,
sounds like my schedule,
dude. Yeah. I'm that's 4 hours.
So with kids heading back and kids maybe feeling anxious, there are 3 things that parents can do according to a pediatric neuropsychologist to help ease this. Her name is Jennifer Kozenstein, director, or Kozenstein, I'm not sure.
But they call her Drinkenstein.
Yes, thank you. Do I have to?
You don't.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
Right.
Do you want to?
The director of psychology, neuropsychology, and social network at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, and also wrote the song Drinkenstein.
Budweiser, you created a monster.
Kozenstein.
In the tavern.
So, makes his transformation all the time.
I've done a lot of studies and I play with silly buddies. And my name is Cousin Stein.
So here's what Drinkenstein recommends. Casey, first and foremost, come up with a sleep schedule.
Yes.
If your kids have been staying up late and sleeping in during summer break, you need to help them get back on track with going to bed early and waking up early. Try to gradually start the new schedule 2 weeks before the first day of school by moving bedtime and wake-up time 15 minutes earlier every day. Now, this also depends on what age kids you have, because by the time they get to high school, it's tough to force a sleep schedule on
listen,
them.
you can have them go up to bed. Doesn't mean they're going to go to bed.
Right.
What, are you going to sit at the edge of the bed?
Start the routine. By the way, Caroline's crew, I didn't know they do this, but I guess it's Outerton. It's a tradition, and they have this senior sunrise.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. What is this?
Yeah, they did that at the girls' school.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You can explain it. Go
Did they
ahead.
already do it?
Today.
Okay, so they do that on
the first day of school.
Okay.
I would
they
love
get
to
it-
do senior girls sunrise thing.
They get to the school before sunrise and watch the sun come up on the first day of school.
I never had that.
And apparently, I think they do senior sunset at the end of the year.
By the way, we see sunrise every goddamn morning.
Yes, we do.
It's overrated.
Yep. We've seen it thousands
I remember when I was
of
a kid, it used to be a big thing. My next door neighbor, Greg Camus, let's
stay up.
We get the tent. We're going to stay and watch the sunrise.
Yeah.
Now I do it all the time.
All right, here's another one. Get back into the routine. According to the survey, 87% of parents of kids under 18 say back to school season causes their child stress or anxiety, and half say it's the most stressful time of the year. Drinkenstein says,
this is what I think.
Making sure that
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call her Cousin Stein.
to make sure, making sure that there are no back to school surprises can help. And she suggests contacting the school to see if you can get in before the first day to show your child where everything is from the drop-off point to their desk. I know they would do that when you were moving up to a new school. My
That's
kids did
it,
that,
right? Yes, and that makes sense. But if you're like for Caroline, she's been going to the school forever.
Yeah.
So you don't need that,
You
right?
don't need to do that, yeah. And then Drinkenstein also suggests...
Budweiser, you created a monster.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
And they call her Cousin Stein.
Monitor electronic use. Sometimes during summer, she said, for myself included, we've let our kids do a little bit more on their electronics and their devices that we do during the school year. And we need to bring that back into no more than 2 hours per day.
Does she suggest that there is a place for beatings?
For beatings? No. Okay, I don't think so.
It's funny. You sometimes, and we talked about this last week, about the seductive, drug-like nature of phones and screens, and the addiction is real, especially in, I can tear myself away because I always have pornography.
To go to, sure.
But I mean, you can see where some young formed mind would be hardwired to their phone.
Yep.
I saw a comedian talking about that, Steve, and he brought back a memory of mine, like when we were sitting on the bus and you had nothing else to look at. You would watch condensation on the window, and I remember clearly looking at a water droplet working its way down the window and being entertained by that on the bus on the ride at home because I had nothing else to watch.
Wow.
The very rudimentary ways
to entertain yourself.
I used to do a thing in the hallways where my eyes were the windshield of a plane. And so I would tilt my body as if I was banking in a plane going around. It's what you did before you had a phone.
I would imagine now, especially on the bus, that it's probably pretty damn silent and people are just on their phone.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No? What do you think?
I don't think it's pretty silent.
Oh, okay.
think
Maybe
there's-
not.
Yeah.
Still buses that are mass confusion.
Yeah.
Steve, I would stare into lights, and then when you stare into a light, then you would get that spot in front of your eyes.
Right, and you'd follow the light.
And then, I would use that spot as if I was, as if it was like a sniper, and that was like the
crosshairs.
Yeah, the crosshairs. Yeah.
Okay.
Teach me.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I assassinated so many people at church.
Yeah.
I would stare into the church lights, and then, pew, you're gone.
Wow. Did you guys have church every day at Catholic school?
No. Just First Fridays.
Okay.
Listen, man, First Friday masses were the best. We would get the whole congregation singing Like, I love that. Like, that was the best. Yeah.
So you had a good time with that. So we would.
All the other stuff in between, like the first reading, the second reading, the hymns, the gospel, the homily, you could take that. I didn't care about any of that stuff. But if you sing me all the ends of the earth, all right, I'm
All
game.
the ends
of the earth, all you creatures of the sea.
Is the homily the longest part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, oh, my God. The homily at my wedding.
But the waiting is
half
the
hour.
hardest part.
It is the hardest part.
Did you guys have many assemblies?
Yes.
At school?
Yeah, I remember that.
Elementary school would have to have been my highest concentration of assemblies, and sometimes for the most absurd reasons. Had a lot of junkies and people. We had a lot of that, and then randomly, Mr. Glazer, who was the gym teacher, was the one who they trusted to rent movies for the, on 16 millimeter, we had old, on actual projectors.
Okay.
And I remember occasionally getting called into the auditorium, which was the gym with seats laid out, to watch movies. One day the entire school congregated to watch Forbidden Planet. And I'm like, so
I wonder what the reasoning was behind that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either we had as I said, I've joked about, the guy with the duck or whatever, or but there was all the constant assemblies.
Yeah, we had, when I was in grade school, I remember there were a couple times like some guy who came and showed all his reptiles. Yeah. There was another time where they had this really elaborate.
This is what an adult male penis looks like.
No. Why are you so excited?
We had an elaborate marionette show one time. There also occasionally they would have musicians come and play. One really cool. They use these really exotic percussion instruments and stuff like that. So I was like way into that. One time they had an assembly. It was shortly after Karen Carpenter passed away.
Oh, and anorexia?
And it was about anorexia.
Wow.
And was pretty wild. That was every now and then they were heavy
Do you
ones.
know what? For the most part, my memories are of liking most of what they brought in.
Yeah.
And I remember walking out, that was a hell of a junkie today.
Always gets you at a class, at the very least. Like, even if it was a boring assembly, you're not going to math class for an hour.
Yep, agreed.
Oh, my God, Nick. And my math teacher in 8th grade brought in, at that time now we had video, he brought in Bullets, the Steve McQueen movie. I think he was an alcoholic and no one knew, but we watched the movie in class.
Oh, you had Mr. Doyle for English as well?
Wow.
I mean, crazy. Yeah, those are fond memories. But I always remember the first day as really not being that bad because you were all sort of on even footing at that time.
Yeah.
You were coming in, the engines were starting up again. And then depending on what level of school you were at, it meant whether you'd be taking later on in the day the trip to the store to get your supplies.
Right, yeah. You needed a new trapper keeper. My nephew, Luke, who's down in Virginia, he's in middle school for the first time, and he has to deal with a locker, and he'd never had to deal with that before, and it was really frustrating for him because it's a new thing, And
we got the lock for last year.
Okay.
Jay's okay with it now, but we got the lock before school. So
practice?
To practice, had to do the combination.
Yeah.
Good move. I wish that had happened.
My kids, 4 years in high school, I don't think they've ever put anything in their locker the whole time.
Wow.
Well, so
and apparently it's pretty damn similar. Most of the kids, they just don't use the locker.
So they have to in our district. They're not allowed to carry their backpacks with them.
Okay.
So they have to use the locker to put stuff in there.
I'm going back to another assembly I remember, and this was in grade school, and this one will always stick with me. It was a guy, because some of the people were just like motivational speakers.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was a professional runner who was born without feet. And he also, his hands, and I forgot what the condition is, where he had a deformity in his hands where it was just essentially two appendages, and they kind of resembled like pinchers type of
things. Like the penguin, that sort of thing?
Couple pie, yeah. Similar to that. And he was awesome, man, but he ran all these crazy distances with no feet. And this was before they had ample prosthetics. He literally just had something that covered the quote, I guess, like stumps at the bottom of his feet. And he ran up Pikes Peak and did all these really wild things. It was a really good one.
Kathy or Nick, did you guys ever have Pat Croce come talk to your high school?
No, that'd be a good one, though.
Yeah, we had him.
That's cool. That's lucky.
Yeah. I mean, he was still on the way up back then.
Okay.
Back in the early 90s. Yeah, he was still working his way up.
Had he been the owner of the Sixers at that
point?
point?
No.
Wow.
No, he was still just a When did he start? In like physical therapy?
He did,
chiropractor, was he not?
I thought it was.
Or was it?
Maybe it was physical therapy.
Yeah, because he had all those gyms that he sold, and that's where he made his money. But he was a regular contributor to MMR. He was on with Pierre quite a bit growing up.
Okay. Kathy, you should do an assembly for kids sometime. Show them how to make jewelry.
Or, hey, don't be a dumb bitch.
Yes.
This is the worst ever.
Stop acting like that.
You dumb bitch.
And now I'm going to show you how to not be a dumb bitch.
So when I was in grade school, Kath,
Where's the rabbit?
My desk was so messy that the teachers made me, I had to put my entire desk in my backpack, and I had to carry that around for like a couple of
Catholic
months.
school, right? For you?
Yeah.
I remember, Case, I remember that you talk about the lockers, and we got to high school. High school is a different animal when you get in your freshman year of high school. You're like, oh, what the hell's going on? And I had been moved around to a number of different schools. They kept redistricting the whole thing, so it was always the a la the Eagles, the new kid in town. But my locker lock didn't work. But I thought I am clearly the biggest imbecile in this school because I can't get this to work. And you're like, I don't want to, I don't want to
let anybody know that I don't know how to make this work.
And I'd be there and I'm like sweating bullets and like everyone's getting in and out of their lockers. And finally I found out the janitor came by 3 or 4 days later after I'd had a full-blown heart attack that the locker was broken.
Could you get into it sometimes, or did it just not at all?
No.
Wow, and for 3 or 4 days you lasted.
I just
That's
walked
crazy.
around with everything I had.
Wow.
I look like a gypsy.
I remember feeling so excited about finally getting a locker. I thought because I didn't get one until I was in high school.
Did you have a separate lock, or did you have the lockers with the locker built into the door?
Separate lock.
Yeah, this one was built into the door.
Yeah, and what's wild is that one half of the high school, all the lockers numbers begin with the letter B. So it would be like B207. And then on the other side, it was all G because when O'Hara was built, all the women were on one side of the school and all the boys were on the other side of the school.
Interesting.
I still have, and I've told you guys this before, I have the same lock. It lasted all through junior high and high school. Never lost it. Never had to get it cut off. Nobody ever stole it. I still have it.
Do you know the combo?
I do not know the combination. And I'm wondering if there's a way to find that out or not. I'm not sure. But it's the classic master lock with the black dial on it. That's it.
Remember, you're supposed to hear the little clicking?
Yeah,
that's how you try to figure out your friends.
Can we get a stethoscope in here?
The tumblers.
Yeah. Can we see if we can?
I don't know. I'll have to go dig it up. I've got it in one of my boxes of memories. But the locker for me and a lot of people in that day and age when I was in high school was kind of an expression of yourself.
It was a mini room.
You would open it up and you could decorate it.
Yeah.
And we had locker partners. I don't know if you guys did, but I had my buddy Howard was in my senior year. We were locker partners.
What, you shared a locker?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, we shared a locker, and it was great because you also had your locker neighbors. Mm-hmm. So for the whole year, even if you didn't have classes with those people, you got to know them. You know,
we had locker cucks who would just watch
you
open our lockers.
Okay.
I would hate a locker partner. Like, what if they were not organized?
There was a way. I think you could put in because me and Howard, we were best friends in high school in our
so
senior year.
Suggest.
I think we got it together.
Yeah, we didn't
decided.
have locker partners, but if you had a friend who had a locker right next to a classroom, you would use their locker.
As like a stowing spot just to put things?
I was never that smart to do that.
Would they give you the combination?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a separate locker for gym, Casey?
We only had gym freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and it wasn't, it was whatever locker you grab, and I didn't have any hair on my wiener, so I went into the corner of the locker room where nobody would see me naked.
Yeah.
So.
Why'd you do that?
Because I was embarrassed about
He didn't
not
have
having
any hair on his
pubic
wiener.
hair.
I just wanted to hear him say it again.
You only had gym your freshman year?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Oh my God.
We had gym every
Yeah.
I remember 1 year gym was ping pong.
Really?
Yeah, half the year was
Man.
ping pong.
That would have been awesome. No, it was just the freshman year thing, and the only way to get out of gym is if you took art instead.
Why would you want to get out of gym? That was like the best
Sweaty.
part of the
I
school
enjoyed
day.
gym.
Yeah, so
Favorite
you couldn't get out of health class.
Trampoline time was awesome.
Oh, we didn't have a trampoline.
Oh, we had trampolines.
Man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we would start school with gym. So like you'd go to school and it'd be the first period and then you get all sweaty and nasty at the beginning of the school day after having taken a shower already that morning.
Yeah.
But we had separate lockers for gym. In fact, I think it just had a separate lock for gym. But our lockers, Preston, like the locker buddy that we had, that was all alphabetical order. So Brendan McGowan was on one side and Claire McClellan was on the other side. And that happened all 3 or 4 years of high school.
We had 1 year I had gym first period, and there was a semester or a portion of the semester where we had to go to the pool. We had to do swimming.
Okay.
First thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
That sucked.
That was what we tried to get out of.
It might have been in the winter, too. It was even though they had heat in the building, it was still cold, and you had to get in the water.
We didn't have a pool,
First
but
thing.
for like the freshman year, they had us after gym class take showers. I'm like, what?
I was on the swim team,
What?
man. I mean, I was in the pool 5 a.m. Like,
Yeah, well, I wasn't. I didn't like it.
So when we had to do swim for gym class, it was the same bathing suit. Everyone had it. It was like awful cut. And I remember the stitching on the inside of the bathing suit determined what size you were. So you either have to ask for like the red stitching, which was small, blue stitching was medium.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So now
So you were
now
labeled. Scarlet letter F.
No, you couldn't see it
Can
on the
someone
outside.
get this gorilla bathing suit?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't see it on the outside. It was
Okay.
like stitching on the inside, like the inside lining or
Oh,
whatever.
so that you weren't okay.
And,
That makes
I
sense.
remember the woman, poor thing, she was like not friendly at all. But
She a great
probably,
big fat person.
probably because no one wanted to do swim for gym class. And so she was kind of like a stickler and always yelled at everybody.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think, we still have gym. I'm just surprised it was only freshman year. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I like gym. That was fun.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, kids are heading back to school this week, next week. It's getting fully underway.
Remember years ago we were thinking about going in and doing a cafeteria tour? Like going
Oh,
in.
and actually going and sampling different high school cafeterias meals?
Right, yeah.
I really want to go back to O'Hara and try their cheesesteak.
But now they're so good. Like they actually have some of them actually have fast food.
Oh, yeah, I told you they have Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A.
sometimes, yeah.
Steve, I will get a hankering for the chocolate chip cookies that they sold at Conestoga High School.
Linden's.
They were like homemade in theory.
Oh, were
and
they?
they were gooey in the middle.
Wow.
They were so damn good, and that was an everyday treat for me.
That was,
Casey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but O'Hara had great cheesesteaks?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, looking back on it, they probably were terrible, but listen, they were basically like steakums, but they never chopped them up. They would just fry them flat, throw some cheese in the middle, and then roll the steak around the cheese.
Here's what we could do sometime is we could have a cook-off. We could have the local schools bring in what they make fresh there at the school, not something that's brought in from a third party, and do a side-by-side taste.
The same way and let's have our top, like we did with the Chi-Chi, with the prison
Yeah.
Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
Let's have some top culinary experts rate the cafeteria staffs at the different schools.
Yeah.
I want that cookie so bad right now.
Well, so ours was Otis
Was it
Spunkmeyer.
Otis Spunkmeyer?
Yeah,
No,
they
man.
weren't, because that's what we had when I was, and I had, that's when
So
we were introduced
there's two
to that.
brands, Otis Spunkmeyer and Plenty.
No, this was some like independent, wonderful person.
Cookie business.
Yeah, cookie wizard.
Okay,
I don't remember any food.
just make
from
sure
school that
Nick
was good.
gets it.
I wasn't the only one. Unless I imagine the whole thing.
No,
I think if you ate it now, it wouldn't taste the same.
They-
it
so
wouldn't be
good.
as good.
They had the best, driest brownies, and I fell in love with these things. Yeah, fond memories
They
of
just
that.
crumble in your mouth.
Oh, they were horrible, but I just love them because it was a brownie at school.
There are some things that are not that great.
No.
But you develop a sentimental attention, or attraction to it.
That's it. Clearly, there's a number of those items.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, back to school. Good luck with everything. And Drinkenstein, remember, has
Budweiser, you created a monster.
3 suggestions leading into the school year for the kids.
Drinkenstein.
Get back into a routine, come up with a sleep schedule, and monitor electronic use. Those are the 3 things that you can do to. Nick pulled up a picture of Stallone as Drinkenstein from the movie
outfit.
Rhinestone, and
somebody that like the costume department also approved of this.
They did.
It made it to the final edit.
Yep.
You know
It
who
got on
wrote the script for
soundtrack.
that?
No.
David Mamet.
No, shut up. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. We have some Bizarre File stories, so make sure you stay with us, please. Anyhow, moving along. Sexy Pikachu. So Pokemon's going to be popular because of Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. And Pokemon himself, right? Or not himself, but the Pokemon symbol.
Preston, you could go as Tyrion Lannister and dress like the
walk around on my knees.
Yeah,
put shoes on my knees.
Dwarf on golf. Yeah,
right.
You go as Dwarf on golf. Watch people try to figure that one out.
No. But he would put the shoes on his knees.
What's his name?
Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion.
Could you do Tyrion on golf?
Tyrion on golf.
So Game of Thrones, but with golf clubs.
It would be Imp on golf. Right.
Imp on golf.
Yeah. Then you have number Faye is Rey from Star Wars.
Number Faye?
Number Faye?
Did I say number Faye?
Yeah, because of Rey.
I just thought that was a line. That is so. Wow, Preston knows all the hip words for 3.
And counting down from Faye.
And now
Three.
at number Faye. He writes, Casey, I never understand what number the songs are because you're so hip and cool. You said Faye, and I was lost. So number Faye is?
Number Faye is Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah.
Ray
Charles.
Ray Charles.
No, from Star Wars.
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel?
Oh, my God. You could be Ray Finkel, and she could be Einhorn.
Oh, my God. Finkel and Einhorn. That's from Ace Ventura.
No, I don't.
You don't know Ace
Ventura? That current movie.
I know Ace Ventura, but I don't
Finkel and Einhorn. Finkel and
Preston.
Einhorn.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Go as Ray, but make it Ray Charles in a Star Wars spacesuit.
Okay, I like it.
Number 4. At number Faye.
Studies have found that the clothes we wear shape the perceptions other people have about our capability. For example, teaching assistants who wore formal clothes, they are perceived by students as more intelligent but less interesting than their casually dressed peers.
I wonder now with the frequency of dress down days and internet places like Google and Facebook where the dress is more casual, like smart casual. Is that perception changing?
Yeah, I think you can still dress smart casual and not dress like a slob, though. You know what I mean?
I think that's exactly it.
So not
besmirching people who wear bib overalls to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but you don't need to be in a suit. You just need to be put together.
Yeah. I mean, you will always agree that my superhero T-shirts are
put together.
Yeah.
Well, I think Casey is the example.
I'm totally put together.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people say, are you doing any runway work?
Yes.
Because they assume you're a model.
We should do a fashion show with Casey.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You could walk the runway.
Okay.
He's up for it.
Yeah, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah.
I like my clothes.
For the derelict line.
Yeah. I wear nice clothes.
You do.
They're just casual nice.
They're as nice as mine.
Yeah.
You don't wear nice clothes.
These are nice pants.
And here we go.
Nice pants, nice. You got a nice pair of slacks.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure they feel nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm being honest. You wouldn't look at your outfit and go, wow, that's really nice.
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Now, Preston.
That guy looks like a gym teacher.
That is a snappy dressing gym teacher.
And I'm not putting you down by saying that, but you know what I mean.
This is a battle of semantics. Okay, so no, they are not dress jeans and a button-down shirt, but they are nice sweatpants.
Are you kidding?
They are not
an argument. That is not a real argument.
Where are your?
That's a good effort.
Where are your leather sweatpants, please?
I'm wearing clean sneakers and day-old underpants. We're good.
You almost made it through.
Yeah,
we're good.
I would love to see. There's that scene in the DiCaprio Great Gatsby. If we were to turn around with sweatpants, in the I'm the Great Gatsby.
Right.
Really.
I also noticed this thing that,
Back to the noticer, the dumbed down version of the ponder.
We were talking earlier in the pondering segment about wearing glasses and appearing more intelligent, but you may need to leave them home for your next passport photo session. The State Department is reminding everyone that come November 1st, wearing glasses is no longer allowed in passport photos. They also don't let you smile anymore.
It depends.
Yeah. It depends?
Yeah, some people taking the photo will actually let you smile. There's a place out by Downingtown, and
Smiley's Passports.
No, like, there's only a few places where you can get these photos taken. Like, you have to go out of your way to get your passport photo taken and have it submitted properly. The one out in Downingtown, the guy's cool, and he's like, yeah, you can smile. Don't worry about it. the guy down in Philly apparently is a bit of a stickler.
Well,
and you're not allowed to smile.
Nick, do you have any idea
I
as
swear.
to is there actually though in effect a uniform rule or suggestion
There's supposed to
that
be.
you not smile? I guess they want you to look the way you would look generically
When you're angry and traveling.
when you're trying to
when you're standing in
commit
line.
an act of terrorism.
When you're standing in line at the,
But when
the
I hand
TSA.
over, when you guys hand over your ID, don't you just smile sort of naturally, just to be polite? Like,
Yeah.
hi,
Hey, how you doing?
Right. So I think that's why this guy says it's okay.
I'm usually like, hey.
My issue is that in my passport photo, I'm wearing wax lips.
Yeah.
And so I have to
And that you're
bring
not
them
allowed.
with me.
Come November 1st, you won't be able to do that, Steve. An announcement on the State Department website explains this change will help eliminate glares and shadows that can lead to delays in processing visas and passport applications. Applicants may wear glasses only in rare circumstances of documented medical necessity during urgent travel.
All right, I don't know why I'm asking, but I'll ask. Facial recognition ID programs, are they foiled by glasses? I tend to think not, right? Because they scan like 180 or 200 different points on the face. So, would glasses throw off facial recognition?
I don't know, but facial recognition software is pretty wild because you even use it on your Xbox One or whatever. You walk in, it knows who it labels them. If there are 3 or 4 people in the room and they're registered, their name pops up above their head.
And on Facebook,
and it's live video, and Facebook too.
Well, on Facebook, when you go to like tag people, it already tags
It
it
already
for you.
tags them.
It says, "Hi, Steven," when I sit down in the Xbox.
love that, don't
I
you?
love it.
Case, except there's one of my girlfriends gets tagged as this guy that I'm friends with on Facebook all the time.
Oh, that's got to be
Totally.
insulting.
I'm like,
How are you? How are you, Chuck?
Who's that man face Katie?
Is there a Katie?
there is a Katie, and she's gonna be so offended because you don't know who she is. And she's gonna be like, "Why did he call me man face?"
I think I look pretty. I don't know.
It's not man face Katie.
So is the girl mannish looking, or is the guy
girlish
really
looking?
Pretty? Is the guy really
Hey,
my name is Chuck.
The guy's not pretty.
comely, as they say?
The guy's not pretty.
He's not pretty. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Okay. You know what else would suck is if you live near a place that is frequented by
hobos.
No, not hobos. Well, I mean, but no, 18-wheelers that use the J brake.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
I hate that sound.
It's like my dad snoring.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot stand that. So that's the, it's, or it's like really, really loud. Oh my God. Hold on.
Go through it.
And then here's the long one. Oh, who put that in there? Hang on. Oh, you were doing that? Oh, I thought. God, this is bringing back memories.
And Preston, it wasn't as if there'd just be one alarm going off. There'd be multiple alarms going off, and they'd all be at different points in their cycle.
Mm-hmm. And they became so commonplace that nobody even looked twice when the alarm was going off.
And I think that's why they eventually just stopped using them.
Yeah.
We could put together a Preston and Steve sound effect car alarm.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely, we could. We have enough of them. No, wait, hold on. What are some? We need to do that.
Well,
we need to do a series
yeah,
of them. But I don't know if you have them all on the same page. Case, pull up the hotkeys here.
Jesus.
Here we go. No. That's the first part in the Viper, right? So pituation, and then.
I did see something else. This one was.
You noticed another thing.
I did notice another thing. I noticed things.
The noticer.
I'm the noticer.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Noticer. Preston Elliott stars as a man who notices things. Your gift is exceptional, sir. We can find a place for you in the government.
The Noticer.
I notice the Nazis are getting a little antsy. The Noticer.
Antsy?
I think they're going to make a play for Poland. We knew that well in advance, thanks to the Noticer, a national hero.
A man that saw or heard things that made a minor impact in his life.
I noticed something. Listen when the Noticer speaks to you. If you ignore him to your own folly.
I am the Noticer.
I notice around and around and around.
All right. Well, I did notice this.
You really don't do anything particular about it. You just notice it.
Yeah. It makes a minor
You
impact.
never really
for a
leave your
moment.
office.
Mm-mm.
God, I used to love that Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
Both versions. There was one with Jack Palance.
Yep.
And one with Dean Cain.
I remember
but
this.
Palance was always the best. Believe it or not. Or not. This chick has no legs and gets around on a skateboard. Believe it or not.
He always had a really weird way of delivering it.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it. Or not. You know, breathe and...
This chick is just a neck with a nose and travels on the back of a border collie. Believe it or not. Remember his, I despise weak soup. Remember his Campbell's ads?
Yes.
I hate it. I love robust soup. Every fiber of my being. This woman is just one nose and a hair and lives in the bottom of an old container.
A schedule for Freedom Mortgage Pavilion because we were just talking about the MM barbecue and looking at this list. They already came through town early in August, but the Doobie Brothers came through town over the weekend. I just started reading Michael McDonald's memoir.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah,
it's called What a Fool Believes.
How is it?
It's fantastic.
Oh,
that
man,
guy's
that's cool.
amazing.
It is. I'm so digging it. It's an audiobook and he narrates it and. He's got kind of a mush mouth when he talks like this, so it took me a moment to get used to his speaking style. But I'm loving it. I'll share it. So, here's one thing I didn't know about it, and I'll find out the resolution of it later on. But when he was 14 in 8th grade, he and this girl were in a relationship, and she got pregnant
at 14.
8th
Whoa.
grade.
Wow.
And they were a Catholic family, so of the time they sent her off somewhere to go have the baby and put it up for adoption or something like that. So I assume it's going to resolve in the story later on.
So
he's touching on his teenage years right now.
As you're finding out, you know his history as a studio musician and with Boz Scaggs and with so many other artists. It's just legendary.
Well, more importantly to me is he grew up in St. Louis, so this
is that right?
whole first portion of his life is like I'm hearing stories of bands that I knew about and locations and all this stuff. It's really cool.
And Paul Reiser's the co-writer?
He is the co-writer.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently they're really good friends.
So I'm going to try to see if we can get him on the show.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, because maybe we can go through the publisher and try and get him on.
You know what, Nick? I don't know when this came out. It popped up in my, because you read, I reread Geddy Lee's book, so maybe it picked up on that.
I think it's within the year.
Okay.
Because Rick Beto, the YouTube guy that we enjoy, he did an interview with Michael McDonald. I think it was predicated on the release of the book.
All right.
Yeah.
Does he talk at all about writing the song Drinkenstein by any chance?
I don't think he wrote Drinkenstein.
They did. What's Happening episode they cite, though.
Listen, I'll tell you what he did co-write, which surprised the hell out of me. He co-wrote I'll Wait from Van Halen.
What?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yep. Isn't that a wild little tidbit about
totally
Michael
of
McDonald? It's a bit of tid. But apparently, from what I understand, and I haven't gotten to that part of the book yet if he covers it, but they were having some issues completing that song. They liked what they had, but they needed some help. And I don't know who in Van Halen's management said, call up Michael McDonald because he's an outstanding songwriter, and he help them get this song steered into the right direction. So you will see his name.
That's great.
In the writing credits.
I love stuff like that.
So, yeah, pretty cool. All right, well, anyhow, I just thought I'd mention that because I saw the Doobie Brothers.
Kathy had asked about what was going on with Michael McDonald.
What's the latest on Michael McDonald? Now from the Michael McDonald news desk.
Kathy Romano.
Kathy Romano with your updates.
We go now to Kathy Romano at the Michael McDonald news desk, where all things Doobie Brothers and Michael McDonald are relayed to you every day.
Thank you for that report, Kathy. And now the Bizarre File.
I don't actually have
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Apparently, Kathy's on strike.
All right, we'll start with a fairly disturbing story here. An anesthesiologist in New York State pleaded guilty to drugging and sexually abusing his family's nanny while she was asleep in his home. Paul Giacopelli, 60 years old, pleaded guilty on Wednesday, and according to court papers, the victim was employed taking care of Giacopelli's children at his home and sometimes worked overnight shifts when Giacopelli was on call for the local hospital. She told investigators that on 4 occasions in late 2023, she fell asleep and woke up to a rag being held over her face.
Oh, my God.
Smelled chemicals and blacked out. The woman... she had no way to prove what was going on.
Right.
Set up a hidden camera to record her assailant. After sensing a rag over her face and blacking out, she woke and viewed the contents of the camera. Video clips recorded by the camera showed him assaulting the victim. The woman brought the video to law enforcement, and Giacopelli was taken into questioning by the sheriff's office. An investigator told the grand jury that Giacopelli confessed to filling a rag with sevoflurane, an anesthetic agent, and covering the woman's mouth and nose to render her unconscious. He confessed to sexually assaulting the woman after she blacked out and said that he had a chloroform fetish. Giacopelli told investigators that the victim was an easy target because she was a heavy sleeper. Giacopelli admitted
Some people are just reprehensible.
Bringing drugs home from the hospital. Fentanyl and other drugs were found in the home as well. How is this?
I hope he goes away for a long time.
Long time. Hell yes. Yes. Let's see. A San Diego man, his explosive plan to rob ATMs bombed not once but twice. On June 8th, the 44-year-old armed with a blue plastic container and a black hose attempted to blast his way into a credit union ATM. The surveillance footage caught the whole scene, but the plan failed and he got away with zero cash. The thief struck again on June 28th with the same plan as he caused another explosion that only succeeding in setting the ATM's electrical unit on fire.
He's not good at this, is he?
Yet again, he left empty-handed. Investigators later traced the suspect back to his home, where they found a treasure trove of explosive materials and arrested him.
You know what he did on his third try, Preston? He hooked a piano up to the ATM and had a specific song.
Right.
That it played properly would detonate.
Yes, but if you missed the notes...
it wouldn't work.
Nothing would happen, but if you hit the notes exactly, then there would be an explosion and the ATM would be...
And the money would come... This is it.
Yeah, we have audio of the moment that the explosion took place.
See, it's not working.
Right.
You stupid rabbit! Like this!
And now the money.
Now the money.
Yeah.
The U.S. attorney said, fortunately, neither of these incidents resulted in injury or successful theft of cash. Future attempts were also thwarted. 4 jail security contractors face charges in a contraband smuggling conspiracy that included cell phones, sex with an inmate, and chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie?
This happened at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. LaQuina Ballard, Regina Harris, Briesha Tate, and Anesia
chicken pot pie.
Silas all face charges of conspiracy and providing prohibited items to an inmate. The 4 women were employed by a jail contractor and were working on the 6th and 7th floors of the lockup. Ballard is accused of sending explicit photos and videos to an inmate and of accepting at least 2 payments from 2 different residents for cell phones and cigarettes. Tate also faces charges of improper sexual contact. She's accused of having sex at least 3 times with a resident, bringing in at least 6 cell phones and other contraband to an inmate for which she received for payment.
Chicken pot pie.
Silas also faces an additional charge of providing an inmate with an unauthorized staff meal. It was a chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie.
Pie.
The 4 suspects were terminated from their jobs. The probe was launched last year after allegations surfaced and that an inmate died covered in insects and filth.
I'm going to go on record here and say I love me a good chicken pot pie.
Yeah, from the prison?
Yeah.
All right.
Chicken pot pie.
2 women ended up in a fight, and one pulled out a gun when a dog adoption went sour in South Tampa over the weekend.
The dog adoption?
Rags to Riches Animal Rescue Group says that they were meeting a potential owner interested in adopting a dog when they say she refused to give the dog back and then pulled a gun on them. Dominique Anamarosa and her mom both run the Animal Rescue Group, and we're doing what's called a meet and greet for their 2-year-old rescue pug named Bluey. It's the first step in a dog adoption to see if the owner and the dog will be a good fit. When they realized it wasn't, Amorosa said the woman didn't take it well. She said, she put the gun to the back of my head here, makes me crouch, and then she moved it to my temple, and that's when I got the cut. I don't know what was on her gun. Bluey uses a wheelchair after being hit by a car and needs special care. And when they explained to the woman that it wouldn't be a good fit, even given she had several other dogs with her, she refused to hand the dog back over and then elbowed Amorosa's mother as she tried to grab it.
You know what? You passed the test. You showed a lot of passion.
She said, that's when I started just screaming a bunch in hopes that someone would come out. And my lovely neighbor came out and saw her with my mom and then ran in her house and called 911. And that's when Amorosa says she threatened to let the woman's other dogs go if she didn't give back Bluey. And that's when she says the woman threw the dog back to Amorosa's mom. Just moments later, Amorosa shot a 3-second video trying to get the woman's license plate. It cuts off right as she comes around the corner to the car and what appears to be a gun in a holster in her hand. Said, next thing I knew, I hear her cocking a gun. Nobody was around her. She went into her car and got it. And it was like the span of 3 or 4 seconds. I had the gun to the back of my head, to my temple, and then before she walked off, she pushed it off of my forehead. And that's when the woman left, Amorosa said, but the police quickly tracked her down. At this time, she's not facing any charges, which I don't understand.
How the hell
why.
does that happen?
The investigation is still pending. Tampa police said the woman's gun was taken into evidence, and they say at this time that the police department and the state attorney's office are both conducting an investigation to determine the most appropriate charges. As for Bluey, they said she's safe and she will continue to look for a home for her. All right, and then one last story. This idiot, a high school football coach, was arrested after he allegedly called the police to report a prostitute had stolen money from him.
Okay.
According to authorities,
Won't believe what just happened.
Rolando Ramos called the police to report the theft. After they arrived at the scene of the crime, authorities said they discovered Ramos was attempting to pay a prostitute for sexual services. The prostitute allegedly took $100 and ran away.
What's happening to this world?
After the investigation, Ramos was arrested on suspicion of soliciting prostitution.
There we were, smoking crack. I thought everything was going great.
That is what I have in the bizarre file this morning. We will break and come back with a lesson question all prepared for you to see if you've been paying attention to the program today. Trash and music news coming up, too. We'll be right back.
You have a border collie?
Her border collie can type. Believe it or not. And yet the most fascinating story. Shlomo Labinovitz, who is simply an earlobe and a toenail taped together. And yet he has built a completely functioning monorail. Believe it or not.
Are you sure it's a toenail? Could be a thumbnail.
It could be. I didn't look close enough.
YouTube frontman and human rights activist Bono was named to Glamour's annual Women of the Year list.
Wow.
Okay.
Joining a group that includes...
Oh, that's great news.
Yes,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
We should get together and do have a mani-pedi. Oh, look at this. It's Bono. It's Bono. I'm sorry.
Bono marks the first male honoree in the list's 27-year history. They had written, Glamour said, when a major male rock star who could do anything at all with his life decides to focus on the rights of women and girls worldwide, well, that's worth celebrating.
Then how come John Madden never made the list?
And they said, we're proud to name that rock star Bono our first man of the year. The magazine cited Bono's Poverty is Sexist campaign, which is
sexy?
Sexist.
Oh.
Which is specifically aimed at helping the world's poorest women. Poverty is
You wanna know
sexy.
what's very sexy? The impoverished. The way they just hold on to you tightly, it's very sexual. And sometimes they'll lean in close to your mouth to smell the food that you had. And it's so hot. Poverty's sexy. And you can always convince them to go home with you. To steal a Gary Shandling joke. Actually, Gary Shandling used to do that about the bag ladies.
Oh, my God.
It's so easy to convince them to go home with you.
I love that they lean in just to smell the food on your breath.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a steak.
We don't even have any left. You ate it all?
But I have to bring home for the dog. You understand.
Oh, God. All right. It's a whole group of girls leaning into his mouth.
Ladies,
Mm-hmm.
there's enough breath to go around.
But he said, the sexist, the Poverty is Sexist campaign.
Poverty is sexy.
The Poverty is Sexy campaign is specifically aimed at helping the world's poorest women, those who survive on less than $2 a day.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The honorees will be celebrated November 14th at an event in Los Angeles hosted by actress Tracy Ellis Ross. So I don't know if Bono will be there. Maybe, I'm sure, I would hope he would show up for something like that.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there to your event tonight, but I'm too busy breathing on people and making their week. Providing a subtle yet wonderful reminder of what food tastes like. Why are we honoring him again?
Bono, humanitarian.
You owe it to yourself as a pure nightmare, as something so disturbing.
Yeah.
The last Bob Hope, his Christmas special.
Yeah, which were legendary.
Yeah. This one, the last one, it's like he should have been put to sleep years before.
You mean actually put down like a vet would put down a...
Yes, just the way you do to a sick dog. You know, you don't want to let them suffer any longer.
We're their advocate, and if we don't take care of them...
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a good run.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like Ray Walston with the dog in Mice and Men.
Yes. Yes.
I'll do it if you can't.
Yeah. and it's funny. That brings me. I went on with Robert Osborne, and he asked me to pick movies to show, and one of them was the original of Mice and Men.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, Lon Chaney and Burgess Meredith.
Yeah. It's a masterpiece.
That scene still works, the dog one.
If you are not a blobbering mess of slop when that's in both movies of the Gary Sinise as well, then you're an inhuman piece of filth.
Yes, and how it comes back later on the movie where Lenny kills the girl.
Yeah.
And George goes, oh, no. And it comes back because, like, earlier, after when they find out Lenny killed the girl, that the old man says to George, he goes, I shouldn't have let him kill my dog. I should have killed him.
Yes. Right? Oh, my God.
It's just so upsetting.
Yeah.
But you realize now George has to go after Lenny.
No. And so you would have done the same with Bob Hope down by the river?
So there's a scene.
Yeah.
You could find it on the internet.
Okay.
Where he's dressed up as Jack Frost with a big pointed hat and a little beard. And it's like, he has no idea his own name at this point. And when I watch this, I think, and his voice is like that, it's no longer the, hey, everybody.
I want to tell you.
Yeah. Now it's like, hey. And it's like, you watch it, and it looks like his wife's revenge. Like Dolores' revenge for all the screwing around that Bob Hope did on her.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're watching it.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, look at him. The guy died 5 years before this was filmed.
I mean, I adore Bob Hope, but that's a mistake.
Oh, God.
Wow. Jesus.
How did we get on this topic?
Because it just because we needed him to. Gilbert makes the point that he should have been euthanized many years earlier.
Right.
Yes, and it's like Dolores is singing and dancing here. She's old, but she does what, and it switches back to him to go, that's me. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cesar Romero, who played the Joker on Batman.
And did a brilliant job.
Yes. We should preface it with that. He did a brilliant job. And he was like, in his day, the Latin lover.
Absolutely.
And like
the mustache, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. And he would be with all the beautiful actresses.
Yes.
But he in real life, he was gay.
Yeah.
And what he was into was he'd gather up a bunch of his boy toys. And he'd stand there.
How do you know this?
Trust me. He would pull down his pants and underwear, and depending on who you hear it from, you always hear slight variation. Some people said he stood ankle deep in warm water.
Ankle deep in warm water.
I guess it added to it. And while these boy toys would fling orange wedges at his ass.
Oh my God, what the?
And so
you've told that on this show, but I still love hearing it.
I love it.
I just the level. I mean, I think I told you the story that I heard, and this is one that I've heard from a few sources, but about Raymond Burr. Have you heard that?
Well, I mean, I know a gay, but I didn't hear any.
His deal was he had a clear picnic table.
Oh, wait a second. Wait.
We have to watch how we say it.
Now, I heard it with Danny Thomas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, okay, so I don't believe any of it.
And with Danny Thomas, if you ask the right people.
All right. Which means some of these stories might lack credibility, but they're still fun.
They'll say, oh, you mean make room for duties?
Lesson question prize. We have a $100 Nabraza Brazilian Steakhouse gift card. That's a pretty sweet deal.
A lot of food.
The question that we ask you this morning is, what kind of cake is best in the cemetery? 215-263-WMMR.
True.
See if you heard all that chat. It's close to 9 o'clock this morning. What kind of cake is best in the cemetery? 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you know. While you call, we'll do this.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. They can help you with any unexpected plumbing issues this summer. So get the expert plumbing repairs or replacements fast. Horizon Services. Help is on the way. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Taylor Swift threw a star-studded birthday bash for Blake Lively at her $17 million Rhode Island seaside mansion. In a related story, I once received a birthday cake that was actually a super big chocolate chip cookie.
Wow.
Hey! Jenna Ortega opting to leave X, a.k.a. Twitter, now that an AI-generated nude picture of her is making the rounds. Ortega says that for now, her only social media presence will be on OnlyFans.
Oh, my God.
And finally, NASA updating the status of stranded astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, saying the earliest they'll be returning to Earth will be in February 2025. As for now, NASA says they plan on using the time to go through the astronauts' personal belongings.
All righty, let's see if you know the answer to the question this morning. What kind of cake is best in the cemetery? 215-263-WMMR. We'll go over to Chaz, see if we can get a winner. Hey, Chaz, good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. All right, Chaz, what kind of cake is best in the cemetery?
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Cheesecake cemetery. Cemetery cheesecake.
Yeah.
Is the best.
Our friend Perry Shaw, local artist, he does like all the concert posters for the Black Keys. He's a big fan of the show, and he made an album cover for Cemetery Cheesecake Spray.
That's fantastic. That looks awesome, Casey. Thank you so much for that. All right, we're going to give, by the way, Chaz a $100 Nebraska Brazilian Steakhouse gift card. Nebraska Brazilian Steakhouse offers a one-of-a-kind dining experience with 15 cuts of meat and fish grilled to perfection and served tableside. You can book your reservation in Horsham or Philly. Visit Nebraska.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, got a couple things to share this morning. We'll start with this announcement. Liam and Noel Gallagher have reconciled sufficiently to announce a comeback tour in summer of next year. It is expected to include shows throughout Britain and Ireland, including at least 4 nights at Wembley Stadium in London.
Liam, listen, I wanted to call. I have a nice cemetery cheesecake over here. Why don't you come on over? We'll sit down and chat a bit.
The band announced the tour on its website in a statement. They said the plans were underway for dates on other continents outside of Europe later next year.
Look at all these. You got the Robinsons and the Gallaghers. They're all getting back together.
The statement added, the great wait is over. Come see. You know what would be great? Would be like an Angry Brothers tour.
Oh, be awesome.
Black Crowes and Oasis.
They put it about, the Kinks.
Yeah.
That could work.
Oh, Van Halen?
Yes.
Well,
they didn't hate each other.
Yeah,
but,
one died. That makes it harder.
But they said the great
In a
wait
way,
is
that's
over.
kind of a fight.
The announcement was no surprise. Over the weekend, Oasis had posted Tuesday's date on its website and social media accounts after days of gossip on social media about detailed reporting from anonymous industry insiders, British news media, about an imminent tour announcement. And Liam himself boosted those rumors. When one fan said that he was scared about the news to come, Liam answered, "You're scared? How do you think I feel?"
I'm as scared too.
Streams of the band's catalog spiked in anticipation. So tickets for the show will go on sale August 31st. Since Oasis broke up, Noel has released 4 albums with his group Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, and Liam has released 2 with his group Beady Eye, 3 solo albums, and 1 with John Squire of the Stone Roses. So big deal.
That'll
Very
be
big deal.
That'll be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So just for the hell of it?
No, they're going to close the show at this.
This one is for the people who enjoy beer and steins.
Which of the 2 brothers was notoriously the crankier of the 2?
Liam.
Okay, so I saw this video, and it's a few years old at this point, but if you get a chance to watch it, it's him in a classroom with a bunch of kids. It's adorable, and I kind of get the perception that maybe he started to be a little less cranky and a little less angry, and perhaps that's what
the kids helped him?
I think so. I mean, Steve, it's, when we talk about actors who don't want to talk about roles that have made them famous or whatever, I think Liam just kind of came around on the fact that, Oasis means something to a lot of people.
I don't want to look at your stupid drawing.
All right, outside of Oasis, things are still not right health-wise for Josh Homme. Queens of the Stone Age, which had previously canceled all of its July and August concerts due to the lead singer's health, have now postponed all of its remaining tour dates for the year.
Do we have an indicator as to what he is dealing with?
No, I don't anyhow. In a statement, the band said that Josh has been given no choice but to prioritize his health and to receive essential medical care through the remainder of the year. The shows scheduled for Boston, Cincinnati, Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin will be rescheduled for sometime in 2025. Yeah, I don't know if it's cancer or not, Steve. I thought that sounds like it may have been mentioned, but I couldn't tell you definitively.
Hope it's not.
Yeah. Here's a happy surprise. Motley Crue is releasing new music. The Canceled EP is set to drop on October 4th and will include Dogs of War, the title track Canceled, and a cover of the Beastie Boys classic Fight for Your Right. Songs were recorded in April 2023 with Bob Rock, who produced the band's 1989 album Dr. Feelgood. The EP will be available on CD digitally and red and black splatter 12-inch 45 RPM vinyl as well, so a 45. And then the final story I have for you. Don't play with fire is always a good advice, but Kelly Osbourne is giving that advice forcefully to her husband, Sid Wilson of Slipknot. Sid was badly burned on his face and arms after a run-in with a burn pile.
Oh.
Wilson says he's going to do everything possible to not miss Slipknot's 10-stop September tour, which starts on Sunday. Kelly had said, "This is why you don't F with burn piles." He literally set himself on fire and exploded everything. So what exactly is a burn pile?
I thought it was like a bonfire, but I'm probably wrong.
The whole family was hospitalized.
It's like schedule, that sort of thing.
But Sid was in the worst shape out of that. So, yeah, I don't really know. Burn pile?
I think that's what it is.
Oh, I know what it is. Well, at least in the U.S., when they will grab debris in the forest and stack it and burn it intentionally to prevent forest fires.
Like a controlled fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they might be different in England. You might be right, Steve, about it being a bonfire.
We're looking at a picture of him and Kelly Osbourne standing next to each other. She does not look like Kelly Osbourne.
Not at all.
I mean, not the one we remember watching on the Osbournes. I mean, I know that was several years ago, but she has really changed the way she looks.
And he's
really good.
Hardly recognizable.
He's wearing a mask.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's in Slipknot. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in music news. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get the letter of the day for Word of the Week. And remember, only 3 letters this week, and we will wrap up our program. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Or the other one is make poo for daddy. And that I heard it with Danny Thomas that he would have a glass coffee table.
Yeah.
And hired hookers to take a dump on the table.
Okay.
And
he'd be underneath it.
And now a variation I heard is sometimes
somebody from the Fresh Beat Band.
See, well, now I heard the Fresh Beat Band is hired out to take a dump on people's tables.
They don't have a show anymore, so they gotta,
But
extra fresh.
I heard, judging by who you hear it from, that Danny Thomas would sometimes wear a priest outfit.
A priest outfit.
Dear God.
See, here's the deal with this stuff, and I think there's a lot of this that's been embellished. But the truth of the matter is, you were dealing with a lot of wealth.
Yes.
So if your inclination was to do anything sort of perverted, you had a total resource.
But how the hell do you find out that you like standing ankle deep in warm water and having people throw orange wedges at your ass? At some point or another, it's got to happen by accident, or you need to hear about it.
Oh, that felt good.
Yeah. Wow.
And then by accident, how does it happen by accident?
Well, here's I was shopping.
How do you all of a sudden are in a room with someone, bare ass, and they throw an orange wedge at your ass?
So you think of the possible scenarios. You go to an outdoor proctologist. A flash flood occurs. You're in mid-exam, and he, while picking up something to throw over to you, or throw you an umbrella, his lunch is on the table,
right?
With his orange wedges.
Out of excitement, he knocks it off the table, and an orange wedge hits you in the ass.
And he's like, "Oh, sweet mystery of life."
Yes.
So I think
you can't just wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, it'd be a real turn on an orange wedge hitting me in the ass."
The Fox News Channel's Megyn Kelly writes in her new book about being sexually harassed by the network's former head, Roger Ailes, who was ousted earlier this year amid similar allegations from several women.
I want to fart in your face.
Is that Ailes?
Oh, my God.
That big slob. The
What the hell is going on?
He just impresses me as such a disgusting guy.
That's his thing?
That's his thing.
I did not know.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I want to fart in your face.
Oh, my God.
You've seen him, right? He's like something out of Dune. He's like one of the,
Baron von Harkonnen. Vladimir Harkonnen.
He really just looks really bad. He should be hooked up to she comes into the room, he's hooked up to the hoses flying in the air.
Come over here. I want to fart in your face.
God.
It's gross. Can't deal with it.
And who would come over there?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Certainly no professional.
I was not expecting that. Yeah, he's got massive jowls, man. Big time.
and
We're
he's-
looking at a picture of him right now.
He's done it with a few women. It's just horrific.
So, in a chapter of her upcoming book, Kelly writes about Ailes that he offered to advance her career in exchange for sexual favors and made physical advances against her that she rejected, including, quote, trying to grab me repeatedly and kiss me on the lips. She writes that when she shoved Ailes away, quote, he asked me ominous questions like, when is your contract?
Because I can make them on demand. Come on, lean in close. You're going to like this. It's cheese.
I got to take a breath here. Saw this interesting article.
We'll determine that.
All right. It is by psychotherapist Abby Rodman. Now, it is about various types of affairs that can take place in a relationship. Now, we just think of one type of affair, the physical affair. But there are more than one of those.
This is interesting. Explain.
I shall. There is the emotional affair. Okay. One partner in this type of affair, one partner is starving for an adult emotional connection, and they've usually given up on getting it from their spouse. The partner may be depressed and not feel like themselves anymore. Then someone they know, a coworker, for instance, pays attention to them.
Yeah, you've heard the term like work wife and work husband.
Yes, yeah, and I can see that. To me, that always just constitutes a good friend.
Yeah, but I think a work wife is more. You let your actual wife know about your work wife. You don't let your actual wife know about an emotional affair.
I think that might be the case, yes. The partner usually, but however it says here, the partner usually justifies the emotional affair because they see it
Great
as
handies.
the lesser of two evils. No, there are no handies.
Oh, there are no
involved
handies. I'm sorry.
In the
that
emotional
would be
affair.
physical. You're right.
Well, and that's dumb. It's a hand.
Yeah, it's a hand. It's not even a vagina.
The point of that.
There's
That's like not even cheating.
There's your motto, Steve.
Wait, did you say Kathy just justified that handies aren't even cheating?
Because
this just said the sexual world was rocked by the revelation that since a handy is not a vagina, it's not cheating. Men of all walks of life hurried out of work running home.
Breaking news.
No, it says they.
Turns out it's not cheating.
The president.
If you ever thought that was bad, Kathy says it's not. Because it's not even a vagina.
You remember a while back we received a coconut in the mail.
Yeah.
Somebody just put an address on and mailed it and didn't know you could do that. So I asked for other odd items to be sent to us through the mail. Well, we've gotten a few of them.
What'd you say right now is the most unique thing we've received? Would it be the coconut?
No, I think it's that rewinder.
The rewinder? Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's
tape in here.
Is there?
Oh,
what is it?
Let's see what
Play
it
it.
is.
It's got to be porn.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Oh my god.
What is it?
All right. Hang on. Let's play a little game.
Oh.
I love little games. I will reveal cast characters to you.
Oh, it's like the Leonard Maltin game.
Yeah.
With Doug Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Doug loves movies.
Yeah. So it's.
You gonna pull up the cast?
Yeah. I was not expecting this. All right. So.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna start with the star or a little further down on the list?
Where do you want me to start, Preston and Steve?
Key grip.
No, you want to go like on the list of five
go
down?
with the co-stars. Yeah, 5 down.
5 down.
All right, fifth one down.
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Steve
4.
will probably get this.
5.
John Mahoney.
John Mahoney.
Ooh.
The comedian?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you want to turn this into
Say
a giveaway?
anything?
From it was from Frasier's dad, right?
Yeah.
Say anything, probably. That's guess number 1.
that's
Okay,
wrong.
no. All right.
Next, Michael Lerner.
It's a woman, right?
Yeah.
No, that's a man, Michael Lerner.
No, I'm thinking Michael Learned.
Yes, from the Waltons. Played the mom.
Okay. I don't know.
Sixth down. You want me to do 6 down because it's a bigger name?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Spaced Invaders?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to go down real quick?
I don't care.
It's a
Just
bigger
give us
name.
another name.
Tony Shalhoub was 6.
Tony Shalhoub. This isn't Galaxy. No.
No, because the others aren't in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you the year of the movie by any chance?
Sure. WMMR, everything in it rocks with that signature sound of his. Cool tune. It is 10:30 on this Tuesday morning with the Preston and Steve Show. Our program coming to a close for today and a short work week this week. Just to remind you, I want to mention a story I left out of music news, and I should not have, is Back to School A to Z starts on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Starts at noon. Pierre Robert is going to be kicking that whole thing off, and it will drag on for who knows how long. By drag on, I mean that in a good way.
Half the fun is trying to estimate when it will end up wrapping up, and we never get it right.
Yep. We should do a block pool.
Should we do it? Yeah.
Of the day and hour.
All right.
When it wraps up amongst the staff and see if we can pinpoint that. But yeah, thousands of songs in alphabetical order. It is awesome. It is by far, and we've said this many times, the most fun on-air thing for us. The people that work as the staff here go through. We love it. It's presented by A&T Subaru and A&T Chevrolet in Sellersville. And it starts this Thursday at noon with Pierre Robert. So get set for that. All right, we need to do the letter of the day. We don't have everybody to thank for the day, so let's dive right into that. Case, you going to do it?
I got you.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
T, as in 3.
And we only have 3 letters to put together to make a word. And we'll give this away on Thursday. A pair of pit tickets, parking, and VIP club access for the Killers. Saturday, September 7th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets for the Killers are on sale now via Ticketmaster. So get yourself set. Maybe you'll be in the front row and the whole deal. So get ready. Or pit tickets, I should say. All right. I just have to thank our sponsors, and then we'll tell you what's coming up tomorrow, and we will move out of the way. The Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. Tomorrow on our program, it's a Wednesday, so we'll do Secret Text Word. Fox Good Day, we'll check in with them. We also have actress and comedian Mary Lynn Reiskub, who's going to be joining us. She's great.
Yeah, I love her.
So we'll be checking in with her. And also, last minute bonus, the Hers potato chip contest, Romano's, Peter Romano, the owner of Romano's Stromboli, is going to be stopping by tomorrow morning. We didn't know the Stromboli was invented at Romano's here in Philadelphia.
Go figure.
So they're going to be stopping by, and we'll get a little history of that wonderful Italian treat. So that'll be when we'll find out more. Maybe we'll get some free food, too.
Yeah. Not that we're pushing for it, but
right.
We're pushing for it.
So that's it. We're done. Ray John, have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.